Good morning, beautiful people. It is Wednesday, May 20th, an absolutely beautiful day to be alive. We got a lot of things to talk about. Brandon McManus, kicker of the Denver Broncos, joins us in about 15 minutes, and host of the Cash Cab, Ben Bailey, joins us in the second hour. I will be questioning him in a cash chat to earn money for our YouTube commenters, youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. A lot of news to cover today. Horace Grant has come out and said he does not like the way The Last Dance was portrayed. Doesn't like what he said about him, doesn't like what he said about Scottie Pippen. We'll talk about all those things. In any of these books or documentaries that happen, normally somebody's painted in a bad image that doesn't love it. That's why in every story that I tell, I'm normally the idiot in it, okay? When I tell stories about teammates or friends or anything like that, I like to be the idiot because Jose Canseco just snitching because he finished. You don't want to ever be that guy that wrote the book that kind of buries everybody else. Now, I'm not saying Jose Canseco did that, but it sure seems like that is the narrative. And it feels like all these books, at some point, somebody gets buried. Or in these documentaries, somebody gets buried. Now, for instance, I've told one story that buried somebody, and I'll go to my death saying, yeah, I truly feel that way, as do a lot of other people. I'm not going to take it back. I won't say it anymore, but I did my... Everything else, though, I am always the idiot. Because you got to be very conscientious of people, getting upset or not being portrayed in the fashion that they want. Horace Grant was not portrayed in the fashion that he said he liked. He did not enjoy it. And he also said that what Scottie Pippen was portrayed as is a bunch of malarkey too. Remember, Michael Jordan at one point said that Scottie Pippen was being a bit selfish whenever he decided he wanted to get to surgery late. He was making 1/10 of what Michael Jordan was making and signed a 45-year, $4 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. And Scottie Pippen also, for no reason at all, Horace Grant said, showed that clip where Scottie Pippen refused to go in because Kukoc was given the ball in a game-winning situation instead of Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan was playing baseball at this time. So it wasn't even something. Horace Grant was like, why'd they even put that in there? To make Scottie Pippen look bad? And I'm like, you know what? Horace Grant, valid point. I didn't even know that thing existed or happened until they showed me, and it did kind of make our guy Pip not look as lovable as Pip should be. Because Pippen ain't easy. Listen, we're friends with Pippen. Okay, we understand he likes cold beer. That's what he's focusing on fourth quarter. And we've shotgun beers with him. I like that Horace Grant has come out and said whatever, but it felt like a lot of people didn't love Horace Grant as well. So it was like almost an interesting situation there. The pizza company, Pizza Hut guy in Utah that allegedly delivered the Pizza Hut pizza outed himself as the guy that was potentially the one that poisoned Michael Jordan. He said there wasn't 5 of us. There was only 2 of us. I mean, there's going to be more and more reaction from this Last Dance because a lot of people got painted in a great image. Some people not so much. But the story was told in a fashion that I enjoyed the hell out of it. So I'm very thankful to MJ, Disney, and Netflix and everybody else that put it together. But you could see if you're on the other side of that thing, you could absolutely hate it. Ryan Fitzpatrick has come out and said, hey, I'm Tua's biggest cheerleader. Yeah. I got the pom-poms out. Give me a T. T. You got your T. You got your T. Give me your U. You got your U. You got your U. Give me an A. Hey. That's what Ryan Fitzpatrick said he's doing at home. He's got 45 kids. They're all wearing Tua jerseys, he says. But he would like to play as well, which is kind of what we thought was going to happen with Tua anyways. Maybe get a redshirt year. That's why we thought Miami was the perfect destination for him, because Ryan Fitzpatrick has been on every single NFL, CFL, and XFL franchise. The guy knows the ins and outs on how to win, how to lose, how to handle the locker room, how to talk to a coach, how to talk to a GM. So the fact that he gets to mentor Tua, we thought would be a great move. Now, let's remember, Tua and Joe Burrow are set to square off in week 13 of next NFL season. Now, granted, this is with the NFL going off without a hitch. There's allegedly plans in place to eliminate some weeks and replace some weeks and move some weeks and all that stuff. But allegedly, no, definitely right now scheduled week 13 to Joe Burrow. Let's assume Ryan Fitzpatrick plays 10 weeks as a starter. Maybe if he wins, by the way, B-Flow is not a guy that's going to be like, oh, yeah, we're going to take the ball out of hot hand. No way. If Ryan Fitzpatrick hits that Fitz magic moment right there in the middle, they won't be able to do it. But let's assume Tua's playing by week 13 for that Joe Burrow game. And I'm pumped up to watch that. Ryan Fitzpatrick being a great mentor, can't ask for anything more. Tua's going to a great place. Think he's going to enjoy Miami because he said, and his family said, the last thing on earth they would want is to be in Detroit.
Come on.
Yeah.
So now they're down in Miami with a guy from Harvard teaching them how to play the football and professional football, and I like that a lot. All the boys are here. At Nick Moraldo is here. How's it going, Nick?
Doing great, buddy.
Glad to be here.
You don't have Vice, so you did not get to see Dark Side of the Ring last night. I've been watching that weekly. Tuesday nights, Dark Side of the Ring, some good stories, some stories I had never heard of before. Last night was the finale, and it was about Owen Hart, who is famously Bret Hart's brother. He ended up dying in a pay-per-view in the ring, in the arena, and just the behind the scenes of that whole thing was pretty wild. Now, granted, it's called Dark Side of the Ring, so the stories that are being told are not positive ones, right? Dark Side of the Ring. But it was interesting to kind of learn about that whole thing. And this morning, like, I think 50% of the trends on Twitter this morning were for Dark Side of the Ring because of everything that happened. It's a good show. I'm excited for you to steal it from wherever you normally watch it from.
Can't wait. I remember watching the pay-per-view live, and you had no idea what was real and what wasn't until they actually announced anything, because it was wrestling. You had to be on your toes and assume everything was a work, but it was tragic.
Well, yeah, definitely tragic. Jim Ross, good old JR.
Well, Owen Hart just fell from the sky and his brains are all over the ring right now.
Can't say that. Okay, can't do that. That is not what JR did, by the way. A big part of the show last night was about Jim Ross having to handle that entire situation. And just to think to be a commentator while that happens would be tough to juggle, even though that was not what he said. And he has said on plenty of occasions. And that's really, I think, the only way you can get into that accent.
It is.
Yeah, that is.
It's unfortunate.
But
I apologize.
Rest in peace to Owen Hart and the Hart family. But it was a sad, sad story last night. Trending all over the place. Normally wrestling doesn't do that. And it was obviously not for a great reason. At Tone Diggs who's here. Diggs, you're looking thinner than ever, bub.
Thank you. I'm trying, but then the weekends suck, so. Not going to be as thin as you. I mean, you're doing the hardest workouts in the world.
The hardest workouts in the world. I just remembered that I have hamstrings last night. I've been doing, I got like a bodybuilder to send me workouts, okay? So instead of, granted, I would like to be actually strong, but I'm already actually strong, right? I'm a pretty sturdy, strong person to begin with. Now let's just get the optically muscles. You know what I mean?
up, yeah.
I've heard about the optic muscles, all they said. Water muscles, what people call it. And I've always probably made fun of it, like, well, who cares if you have muscles if you're not incredibly strong? So now I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, I don't care if I'm incredibly strong. I would just like to look that.
Yeah.
So I asked this bodybuilder guy that I knew, a friend of mine, to give me a workout. So I'm doing these aesthetically pleasing workouts, basically.
Oh.
I couldn't get off the toilet. Did this hamstring thing. This thing I did for these legs. And I thought the leg workout would be easy. Leg workouts have always been very easy. These things are very different. I'm doing like 7,000 reps of something. And then last night I had to do burnout of lunges, basically. And I fell in my garage and I couldn't get up for 10 minutes because my legs just didn't work. I felt like I was army crawling up the things to get back into my house. It was next level. But I got fat shamed on the internet and now I'm off and running. Diggs, I don't know if you get fat shamed ever, but you're looking fantastic.
Every single day of my life.
Yeah, but you're making a bad decision. And we have talked about this behind your back. You're getting fitted for your wedding thing.
Yeah.
But you're getting into the best shape of your life for the fitting.
Yeah.
I think you're doing it wrong. I think you're kind of pudgy when you get the fitting. So then whenever you are potentially not in the best shape of your life, it fits. Because right now you're the picture of perfection in the Diggs that we have never seen Diggs this committed.
No.
He brings his own food in here every day. Yeah. He no more snackies no more anything. You're getting into the best shape of your life, then you're going to get fitted. And then what's that mean, Old Tone? Oh, you got to last. You got to last that long.
It's easier to add or take fabric off than add fabric.
Bingo. So you're getting tailored
Well, yeah,
down.
I'm going to be swimming in my wedding suit.
Yeah, but you get like a week before, you get a last minute fit or whatever.
Yeah.
Trust me, he's sneaking in some snackies here and there.
Really?
Yesterday was a bad day.
That's what I'm saying, though. You're going to have a lot of those from fit day to wedding day, and I think you need to.
Nah, it's the summer. I'll just sweat.
Diggs, this is a bad idea. Summer, oh my God, you're going to start getting them no laws with the White Claws.
Well, this is a fake summer, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, you're getting into cigars too. That's automatically going to lead to other.
Cigars is a deterrent.
Yeah.
Maybe put some meth in there too. You know what I mean?
Thinking about it.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, that'll do well for me.
Well, you're probably gonna. Oh, your heart. Your heart.
Yeah, you're wearing the Jimmy Seafood hoodie. There's not enough crab in the ocean to feed this guy's crab dip appetite.
Oh yeah, I forgot you ate all of Jimmy's. We got Jimmy's famous.
Can't blame him.
I almost swore. Held it in.
What did you say?
Oh, this effing guy.
Oh, Frank.
this guy.
Oh, he's a chef. All of a sudden, he's judging everybody. But you look good. You look very good.
Thank you.
I just think it was an aggressive decision to try to hold this house now for 3 months or whatever.
Maintaining's easy.
Oh my God, Tone.
Admirable. It's admirable, that's for sure.
Ty Schmidt is here. How you doing, Ty? You just offended an entire wrestling fan base there a little bit ago.
Well, again, I apologize, so I think that kind of relieves me from all transgressions there. But I'm doing pretty good. A lot of energy as of late. I've been waking up earlier than I have for the last...
You know why? Because you got to drive into work now.
Have no choice. So
you used to be able to hop on a scooter, come over. Now you're out in the suburbs a little bit, starting a family. You got a dog. You got a fiance. You're out in the suburbs. Here we go, Ty. Here we go, Ty. He's apologizing.
I like Suburb Ty.
Suburb Ty is apologizing to people. I mean, he's had his best couple weeks too as Suburb Ty. We'll have to keep this monitored, obviously.
yeah, I feel great. The only bad thing about moving to the suburbs is I'm not living in some little dump hole apartment. Now I got a house. A lot of furnishing that needs to be done there, and I was not really expecting that.
You're only going to use a couple rooms. Remember that whenever you're buying furniture. You're only going to use living room, kitchen, your bedroom, and that's about it. Literally. That's my house, for instance. I don't know. I got 7,000 rooms probably. Used 3 of them. And every single one of them had to be furnished. You know what I mean? Had to be furnished up in the front. We got to do it. You can't just have empty rooms sitting around. What are you doing? Got to furnish it. Well, I haven't seen that furniture since I moved in the house.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be buying a bedroom set for the guest bedroom. I said,
I got a great set for you.
Dude.
The West Wing has a bedroom remodel that's happening.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna move. Yeah, because I have a golf simulator up there, right? Never use it. Turns out everything in that room just got completely burned. So we got to move the simulator because I am looking to use it into another room. Said room has bedroom set. Bingo. Here we go. Now you got a bedroom set.
There we go. People helping people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy.
Bedroom set, brand new, never been used. Golf simulator, brand new, never been used. But I'm going to get into it this year, I say. This year, I'm going to get into it.
This is the year to do it.
This is the year
This
to
is
do
the
it.
year to do it.
Yeah, it is. Why not?
You might be a scratch golfer by the end of the summer.
Why not me?
Why not?
I'm a big Matt Wolf guy now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do his swing.
I need his swing, by the way, because I hit a little fade, so that last minute reminder to kind of get through is probably good for me. I got to do that. There used to be kickers that used to do like things like of that nature. They used to go back. I forget who it was. This dude would do his entire steps, and he'd be back, and he'd do like this. He would literally do like a very open like hip thrust like this, and then he would kick, and that was like him reminding to get through it or whatever. And I was
Who turned around?
Oh, the guy who was a kicker for the Bears. Who was that? The Bears or the Ravens. And he did a full spin thing. Stover had a very interesting. Stover used to do like Maynard was a punter. Stover used to do like a Karate Kid crouching tiger bend over at you thing. Yeah, it was, and obviously I've told stories about Stover, and he's an incredible kicker. Top 2 kickers in the generation are Adam Vinatieri and Matt Stover. Very different operating humans, though. Very, very polar opposite operating humans. Who was it?
I can't find it.
He missed the field goal for Baltimore against New England, too.
Jason McAfee's here. Viva Lazito's here. Evan Foxy's here. And on the phones, 1-833-622-3331, Boston Connor.
Good morning, Pat.
What is that?
I'm Albert Einstein.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it.
E equals MC squared.
Yeah, that you can't just write that on a dry erase board and say you're Albert Einstein.
I created that formula.
All by yourself?
All by myself.
Nobody helped you?
Nobody helped me. Not even NASA.
How do you feel about other races?
That didn't come up in the research.
Yeah,
I did miss that. I did not research much about Albert Einstein. I now realize I might have, probably should have.
No. I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, probably. I feel like there was so much hate in everybody's heart back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Thing Society was terrible.
Well, there was so much to invent.
So, back in the day, by the
So
way,
much to invent.
if you didn't invent something, come on, what are we doing?
Yeah, you were a failure.
You know, like you do 23andMe, you go through your family tree or whatever. I just want to climb up a couple of limbs and be like, how did we not think of a bed?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, how come it's not McAfee couches? How come we didn't find a way? I feel like if I have any of your genes, I would like to be comfortable. How come none of you thought to cut down some leaves off of some trees, put it in a bag, sit on that, bang, we got a pillow? How come it's not the McAfee pillow? How come we're not doing that? That had to be created at some point. It wasn't in my family. I am disappointed in that.
The chair even.
chair, the bed. I mean, all that stuff. The wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not even. There's a lot of things that my family could have invented, and they chose not to.
Hammock.
Not happy about it. What are you gonna say, Zeta? You're gonna say something there?
No, I was just Billy Cundiff.
No. Cundiff didn't do that. I don't think.
Come on.
Sorry, I was just.
But Cundiff was a kicker that missed for Baltimore against New England. There's an entire story behind that. He kicked. Isn't he tight with your dad? No. And also intern Emmett's here, by the way. Attaboy, intern.
Still got the mullet.
Mullet Mitt's still here. You finished all your finals, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
How'd you do? How'd we do?
I think I did pretty good.
Even on the essay ones that we talked about?
Yeah, actually, I think I did pretty good on those.
Okay, good news. We got to get to a break. Brandon McManus, who is the kicker for the Denver Broncos. Emmett's father is his coach. Oh. Brandon McManus was once on the Indianapolis Colts. He actually helped me move into a house.
Really?
Good guy. Super Bowl champion. Massive leg. We're talking big old leg. One of the biggest legs I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
On McManus?
Yeah.
Well, he's a tall guy.
Tall dude. He used to like to have a great time, you know? Still does, probably, if I had to guess. Von Miller called him his best friend or something like that.
Really?
Good dude. This guy's a good guy. Good conversation. We'll talk to him on the other side of this break. Brandon McManus, Super Bowl champ, kicker for the Denver Broncos. What's going on in the NFL, Brandon? You guys going to take his deal if it has to get shortened or delayed, if there's less money, if there's no fans in the stands? What are you guys going to do? You think about that when you're out kicking balls, huh? Easiest job in the NFL, just kick balls. You ever think about anything that's important, Brandon?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to ask him. I think Brandon McManus breaks the long field goal record within the next 2 years. By the way. I'll tell him
Good
that.
place to do it.
In Denver.
Well, it's a great place to do it.
Yeah.
But he could do it anywhere. Big old leg.
Big leg.
Big leg.
Paul Edinger.
Maybe. That might be him.
Yeah, someone in the chat said it. I was just going off there.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little plagiarism. Connor does it all the time.
No.
Yeah, it does.
E equals MC squared, pal. Mm-hmm. This is the Pat McAfee Show. We'll see you on the other side. Here he is. What's his name? Paul Edinger? Paul Edinger. And I think he did this, so he could get his hips all the way through it. Everything is all about people getting their hips through it. I wonder where it started and then this is where it ended. I wonder if he did like a quarter turn. He was like, all right, I'm gonna do a quarter turn. I'm gonna do it. You see some people in golf open up their stance a little bit so their hips are already kind of cleared through the whole thing. Then you see some guys close it because their hips might be too fast. I assume he started at like quarter open, then half open. And he was like, you know what? We're doing a little bit of success. Let's go ahead and just whip this entire son of a bitch all the way around. I like the move. You have to wonder if there was a lot of awareness about what was going on, I guess, behind him, which would be where all the action potentially is. This son of a bitch kicked a lot of field goals, though. This guy's really good.
Does that make Snap to kick slower, too, if he's got it?
No, because all he's looking at is probably the down hand. Like, he should already be moving. You see that down hand there, the left hand? So that is obviously where you're spotting the ball at, right? Mm-hmm. And that's ultimately going to be the hand that ends up holding it. The hand that is closest to the kicker, if it's a righty or lefter, is the one that should be holding it. It used to be the opposite. It used to be right hand hold with a kicker, but then to spin, you got to cover the ball up so you can't see the goddamn ball. And your hand, your fingers are potentially going to block it when the ball's kicked. So there was a maneuver moved. Somebody moved to the backhand, and your left leg would be used as a backstop, so you could definitely hit the spot. So you're hitting your leg like you said. So boom, bang, put it down there. And then when you lift up to catch, that's normally the signal for the kicker to go. So some kickers, like Janikowski, used to watch the snap because he only took like a step and a half back. He would watch the snap, and then as it was getting close to the holder, he would go. There's other people that would watch the snap. Vinatieri very much looks at the spot. I think Tucker looks at the spot as well. Most guys look at the spot, and then as soon as the hand goes up, that's their turn or cue to move. It's got to be 1.3 seconds or less, though, from snap to kick. That's rather quick. You know what I mean? That is very, very quick. And if you're too slow, you're risking either the middle of your line getting blown up or the guy off the edge. And if you're too fast, you're risking just kicking the holder's hand. So it's a fine dance. By the way, snapper, holder, kicker, look for those to be a little bit rusty the first couple weeks of the season if you got a new holder, new snapper, new kicker, because it takes a little bit of time to build up that chemistry. That was something we did on a very regular basis to get that timing done. Got to get it done.
Would that make it easier for Fakes if he's doing something like that? Like he could just either peel out one way or,
Yeah, just go ahead and roll around. Also, he could potentially be a complete distraction by running at 40 the opposite direction. He made a lot of kicks, though. Whatever puts the ball through the fucking uprights, I don't think anybody cares. Very much so, like golfers, pitchers. Once you get like a little thing, you just start going and going. That's why I was very happy. I was too dumb to start any, whatchamacallit.
superstitions.
There it is.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a little. I didn't want to be a little stitious. I was none of the stitiouses. Just because it was too much work. All right, Brandon Mcmanus joins us on this. Here's a super superstitious guy. This fucking guy. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here, Wednesday, May 20th. Joining us right now is a man who's a Super Bowl champion. He's a man who has the biggest leg I've ever seen in person. Ladies and gentlemen, the handsome, the talented from Temple. He's Temple tough, Brandon Mcmanus.
Yeah!
What's up, dude?
Thank you, Pat. Thank you. Your arms are looking beautiful.
Hey, thank you. I've been doing a optically pleasing workout circuit, and it's just, I think it's paying off. If we can get a good shadow here.
I see that. The lighting's perfect.
Thank you so much. Normally, you have just a delicious mustache on your face. What are we doing? Quarantine got the best of you here?
The mustache is a little longer than the beard, but we're getting a little lazy. It gets to the best of us.
How's the family? How is everything? How's fatherhood? I haven't got a chance to talk to you since you've become a man of the house.
It's great. We got the 16-month-old twin boys and another boy on the way. So I'm just building my 3v3 basketball team for the future right now. So
hey, you stud athlete. People forget you. There's some athletic genes coming through there. Congrats on another kid on its way. Let's get right to it. Denver Broncos last year. Drew Lock towards the end of the season became a guy. I liked him personally because he was lip syncing, rap syncing young Jeezy on the sideline in the middle of a game. So that made me feel as if he's a guy that enjoys the moment and stuff like that. How do you feel about Drew Lock being your guy going forward as a Denver Bronco?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit it nail on the head right there with him. So he's very energetic, outgoing, almost childish. He's still young. I mean, he's super young. Immature kind of, but on the field, like he's got that commanding, presence with him. So he's fun, he's lighthearted. So, I think the guys really enjoy being around him. And we have a super young team now. Obviously, winning the Super Bowl just 4 or 5 years ago, and now the roster is turned upside down. It's really just Von Miller, me, and Todd Davis left on the whole Super Bowl roster. So. I'm super excited for Drew. I think he came along a lot, but like I said, he's a lot of fun to be around, and he's goofy, and that's just who he is.
Only 3 of you being left is insane to think about, but that's the NFL. Literally, you have no clue what's going to happen next year. I mean, John Elway's been in charge the entire time, but the amount of turnover with coaches and everything like that can never be expected. Von Miller broke major headlines this quarantine whenever he found out that Jay Glazer reported that a fifth-string center for the Rams had COVID-19, and then that, by the way, tough night for Jay Glazer. I'm still not sure he has. Unfortunately, Jay Glazer might be something that doesn't survive the quarantine. But we love Jay Glazer. But the next day, it comes out that Von Miller had corona. You were very tight with Von Miller. Was that a sketchy situation in there? Like, have you talked to him about the whole thing?
Yeah, I was fortunate. I was actually working out at his house, and I had stopped just because I think it kind of built up more and more serious, and the governor here was putting on more and more restrictions. So I stopped going over to his house. So I was fortunate that I stopped a week early and didn't end up contracting it. But I talked to him a bunch throughout it. I think he was just obviously nervous because he had asthma, and he kind of had some type of underlying condition, but he was in great spirits the whole time. Just had pretty much a sore throat and sickness, and just obviously everyone's happy to have one of the superstars of the league back and healthy, and he's kind of a good how do I say this, a good person to speak about it, because like I said, he takes everything lightly and very serious at the same time. So I think, I was just happy for Vaughn to, kind of get over it.
Have you been able to kick any balls out there during this quarantine where you just go out on the field all by yourself, get away from the whole family, say, hey, you know what? Daddy needs a little time to hit some dingers?
I like to shut it down. No, I usually should wait until pretty much we usually report April 20th and stuff like that. So, I've probably been out once or twice so far, and I'm waiting for my kids to get a little older so they can fetch the balls for me. But,
smart.
So you probably kicked more than me. I've seen, out there on that patch of grass out there.
So you've never seen that house. You helped me move into my last house, and I talked about how you're this dude who everybody loves, everybody enjoys. You've come into your own, and I think within the next 2 years you're going to break the NFL longest field goal record. I'm saying that right now. What is it? May 20th, 2020, when Brandon Mcmanus breaks the record within the next 2 years. I would like to be credited as like the he's a Simpsons guy. You know what I mean?
You paid me in Bud Lights back then when I helped you. So I'll make sure I send you a bunch of cases of that.
Please do. How do you feel, though, as you're getting older? Is your leg getting slow? Is it slowing down? Do you feel just as strong as you were whenever you were younger? What is the state of the cannon that is the Brandon McManus's right leg?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's all about ball contact, as you know, just the consistency of that. And I'd say, my eating habits, I need to change probably more. Like, it's harder for me. It's harder for my body to eat the same things that I used to, and stay in shape. But my leg strength really hasn't dwindled much at all. One of the things that I love to do still is kick off. I think it's one of the funnest things for me, just to kind of get creative and.
But you're stupid. You do like a 3-step approach. You're just trying to rip everything in your leg, and I enjoy watching it. I just want to let you know. But your leg is so strong, you can do that. It makes no sense to me that you do it and why you do it.
Janikowski's inspired me. I loved watching his unorthodox. He doesn't even take his steps on field goals. He just walks on an angle. Oh, this looks good. So I wanted to do something like that, a little more free flowing with kickoffs and stuff like that, and it makes it easier. It's kind of back to when you played soccer, just kind of get to the right depth that you feel is comfortable to, the amount of speed and the shortness to the ball. You're able to get the best ball contact.
Emmett McMahon is working for us now. Do you know that, Tom's kid?
Yes. For you on the show.
Yeah, he's here right now. He has a mullet. He's sitting right here. Yeah, there he is. He's an intern over here right now. What has it been like with Midge, man? How is life with Tom McMahon on a regular basis?
That's good. To me, he seems a little much different than when I was a rookie there in Indianapolis. Maybe because I was, a young guy trying to, shut up and just, listen to him much more. But no, he's been good to deal with. One thing about Tom is he wants to be the best in everything, and he's going to work harder than anybody to try to do it. He'll go if I miss a kick in practice or something, like he'll go and watch my kicks from Temple, freaking 13 years ago to see. Oh, you did this back then. What could we? it's so mind blowing how much he'll go into do it. So he's all about winning, which is an awesome quality to have in a coach, and hopefully we can get a Super Bowl ring for him here soon.
You just got Sam Martin in there. Sam Martin, good dude. I think he's one of us. You know what I mean? I think you're going to enjoy that tag team with him.
Yeah, I'm excited for Sam. It's amazing. This will be my 7th year in Denver. I've had 4 coordinators. This will be 5 holders and 3 snappers, and somehow they keep fucking keeping me. But, but no, it's I'm excited to have Sam in there, and my buddy Prater, who I'm good friends with. Obviously says a lot of great things about Sam too. So
Prater's the best.
Brandon, since Joe Flacco was in town, have you been asked if you were him when you go out to the grocery store at all? Because your haircut and facial hair, you look a lot like Joe right now.
Elite.
Thank you.
Elite.
Elite Joe. I remember when I got him on the call. You got him on the show.
He's on. Joe Flacco has been on the Pat McAfee Show 2.0 podcast. I mean, that is not a lie. That is 100% true. What do you do? He just screamed in the background, right? You guys were in the locker room.
Yeah, we're in the locker room. I think I'll FaceTiming you. But I don't think I've been much for Joe Flacco. When Paxton Lynch was drafted here a couple of times, he looks similar to me, kind of just a tall, dark, mustachy type look. He was more like a Zorro type looking guy, but I'm playing here long enough. I don't have the Pat McAfee face and that repertoire here.
Oh, jeez.
The people at Home Depot, Lowe's, the grocery stores, they love me. They know.
Hey, that's all that matters, especially now that you're daddy daycare. Hey, I can't thank you enough. Were you doing anything off the field? He was doing this food review thing in Denver there you're going to all those hipster food spots and then judging them.
Food blog a couple years ago. I really want to do a TV show. And
what are we doing? Let's pitch it. Here we go. What are we doing?
So I originally was going to do just bring out local celebrities here to restaurants, but now I think I want to travel to other players' not hometowns, the other players' cities, bring their player out, their favorite food out the night before the game or something like that.
Nice.
So get the restaurants out there, the other players out there, and get me eating some food.
You know what you can do at the end? You can have like a playoff with the chefs too. When you go visit them, you seed them, then they can compete against each other with judges.
Put them under the pressure cooker like us.
Yeah, look at this. Hey, look what we just did right here. Maybe that's what it's called, by the way. Pressure cooker. Yeah, maybe. Hey, there we go. Hey. All right. You're going to be like LeBron. You're going to have like 45 shows on TV. Look at you. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who does well in the pressure cooker, Super Bowl champ, massive leg having, handsome, Zorro-looking son of a bitch, Brandon Mcmanus. Thank you, Brandon. Have a good one, Brandon. Stay safe, will you?
Guys, appreciate it.
Cheers, man.
See you.
Yeah, you too. He was the best. He was a cool dude. He liked to have a great time back in the day. That was kind of the thought. So that's why I think me and Vinny were a good place for him, because I also like to have a good time. Yeah. But then we could also figure out a way like, hey, let's reel it in a little bit. Let's do this. And he obviously has had a hell of a career. 4 coordinators. One of those numbers, 7 years, insanity for him.
How big is that for him then to have a veteran punter and Sam Martin coming in for holding?
Massive. A lot of people don't understand. I'm not getting my job my rookie year if I don't figure out how to hold. That's why Vinatieri sent me to North Carolina to Ken Walter's house to learn how to hold immediately after. You'll see like a punting competition will happen. And basically there's like 4 to 5 punters that are better than everybody, and it's very obvious. Then there's like 16 guys that are all kind of in the same, and then there's the bums down at the bottom that are just getting cycled out. But if you have a competition between the guys in the middle, their punts are probably all going to look very relatively the same. One might be a little bit more consistent than the other, but the reason why they're not in the top 5 is because they can't be consistent enough. What'll separate on who makes the team and who doesn't make the team is who the kicker likes more as a holder.
Makes sense.
It's like, I like that guy better. Let's do that. I like that guy better.
Well, if he pays him in beer, then he should be good.
I did pay him in Bud Light if I had guessed. We might have had 3 cases that day while we were moving in. I mean, legit, we started at like 6 a.m. This place was my second house when I moved out here. It was on an old golf course, and it was just out in the middle of nowhere, and it had a pond in the back. It was just like, it had a big old barn. I mean, it was one of those houses I saw. I was like, this thing's for sale? How much? Yeah, I'll take it tomorrow. Let me buy it. And then you got to furnish the whole thing, and Mcmanus helped me move the whole thing in there. We were in the pond at one time because we had to cut some things out of the pond. I mean, it was Maybe 90 beers were had. Tim McAfee was there. There was a couple other people.
Good guy. You're gonna be a good guy to help people move.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Seriously.
For sure. I think I asked him, and I was not expecting him to come. I asked Vinny, too. He was busy. Hey, guys, if you got nothing going on, moving into a new house tomorrow or whatever, and I think Mcmanus didn't have anything to do or whatever, I was like, come on over, we'll have a good time. I'm sure I gave him money, too. Probably not, actually, now that I think about it.
Gave him a roof. He probably got a...
Listen, you get drunk and pass out of my house. I mean, what do you want me to do? Is
There
that
you
not
go.
enough? Is this not enough? Me and Vinny, we produced some, I don't want to say it was us that produced it, but coming out of our camp, there's a lot of guys that are currently in the NFL that have been through our training camp. Cody Parkey, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Jesus.
Well, you don't wish you would have came through our camp or what?
No, I just wish you would have taught him stay away from the poles.
It was blocked. It was tipped. It was a block kick. It was a blocked kick. What do you want from the guy? He was a Pro Bowler with Philadelphia.
No more double doinks. I don't want to hear that ever again.
What a good call, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
On the spot, double doink.
Oh yeah.
That thing, it was just the perfect description of it. But it was a block kick. Cody Parkey didn't deserve that.
Not his fault.
Not his fault.
Not his fault at all.
Felt like it. I've seen his practice videos when he's just hitting a pole.
Yeah, I hate that kickers
I don't know
do
what
that.
he was doing.
I hate that kickers do that. It makes no sense to me. Well, if you aim small, you miss small. It's like, well, I just want to see the son of a bitch go through.
Yeah, what is the point of that?
It's so if you aim small, you miss small. It's like so people put those baseball poles, and also there's not always uprights available for people to go kick on, right? So if you go to a big ass baseball field, which is normally open to the entire county or borough or whatever, there's a pole. So let's just aim at that pole. Now, I didn't ever do that because if I'm trying to do something, I would like the highest percentage of success so I can be happy with my performance. So if we got to go on wider uprights, I'm almost happier at that point. I just want to see the son of a bitch go through the uprights. So just like for the balls, I want juiced balls for warm-ups. I want juiced balls in practice. I'd like to see that thing fly. And that's why a lot of people would say that the kids that are practicing on poles and things like that are much more mentally tough than me. And maybe that's the case. But I like to see success, and I like to have a good time. There's guys that use brand new. Matt Stover, he wanted to kick brand new footballs because he was like, well, when we get to the game, it'll be easier. And he had a lot more pull than I did. I was like, I'd rather just have like a 90-year-old football. Just I don't even know what I'm doing at this point, Stover. So I'd just like to see the ball fly. He's like, well, that's you gotta practice. And Stover had a lot of success with that method, and people have had a lot of success with other things. I'm just a simple-minded person. I want to see the ball fly. I want to feel good, and I want to have success.
Success breeds success.
Hey,
Look at that.
Wow.
wow.
Attaboy,
Yeah, I
Tom.
mean,
Objects in motion,
stay.
in motion.
Yeah.
You get on that heater, you never walk off it.
Seriously.
And that's why I'm trying to get on a heater as fast as possible. So give me that terrible football that goes a quarter mile so I can hop on this heater. And then let's hope by the time the Super Bowl comes around, we're still on that heater. That's the hope. But some people are like, no, let's make it tough, so we have to mentally grind. Let's kick into the wind every day, so when we have the wind at our back or whatever. I'm like, I'm not like that. Let's put that son of a bitch in my back so I can watch this thing fly. I get it. We got to work a little bit into it. I get that. But I would much rather watch this thing go 90 yards than go 35 yards. Just, are we talking about inside my ears? Or are we talking about on film? What are we doing here?
That's why Sammy was using a corked bat and juice balls in batting practice. You know,
Oh, he also used it in game, I think.
that was an accident.
No, he did. That was White Sammy, though, wasn't it?
I think it
towards
was
the
like
end.
Mulatto Sammy.
I think it was White Sammy at that time. I think he was
That
white.
was an accident, though.
What's that?
That he accidentally brought it into the game.
They grabbed the wrong bat, grabbed the practice bat.
Nah, he
It
was,
happens.
nah. They told him he couldn't eat the steroids anymore. He had to use the bat. Had to. MLB, though, by the way, they just said, hey, we're just going to give the easiest balls ever now.
Yeah.
Yep. Juice the balls.
Pitchers hate them. Listen, you guys can't juice your bodies. You can't use juice bats. So we'll juice these balls. You guys take them all over the yard.
1,000% true.
I wish they would let
Spin
them.
rate just isn't as much.
I wouldn't mind if they let them just eat steroids.
They should.
They should.
We are the worst show. Hey, they should. They
should.
Why not? Everybody in the room just echoed, yeah, well, they might die young. Well, they should.
Their body, their choice.
The best time in baseball. They were all on roids.
For the fans and for the sport.
Do it responsibly,
Not
of
for the
course.
pitchers, but
Well, if they allowed it, you know what would happen? Then doctors would get involved.
Exactly.
As opposed to the snake oil salesman.
Correct.
Diner was sleeping in Manny Ramirez's bed, telling bedtime stories.
regulated.
Regulated steroids.
Mount up.
Guys wouldn't be abusing it.
No.
You know?
Illegal.
Guys wouldn't do that in that competitive atmosphere.
No, of course
They just
not.
walk into the clubhouse. Here's your daily dose.
Go ahead.
Good luck out there today.
Do what you got to do.
Hit that ball.
Bring our sport back to life. Our commissioner called it a piece of metal, but you know what you're going to do? You're going to make that piece of wood look like a piece of metal whenever you're hitting these damn baseballs out of the damn county.
You don't need. There's no reason for 5 pitchers in your rotation and 5 days rest. You're pitching the next day.
Yep. Recovery time is shortened to 0. You're welcome.
Everyone wins.
Did we just fix baseball again?
Yeah, again.
Sounds like it.
Listen, maybe we go out there and win that piece of metal if they need scabs.
We'll
do
take the
it.
steroids.
Also, more pools in the outfield because it was very cool in Arizona when they hit it into the pool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's AA stuff. That's minor league baseball stuff.
It's good.
And Shad Khan's pool paradise.
And shotgun pool players.
They're selling tarps, I guess, on these MLB
yeah.
things. Look for the Pat McAfee Show in the pod to have some sponsorship in some MLB games. Might even write underneath it, Big Baseball Show.
Smart.
You know what I mean? Pat McAfee Show daily, 10 to noon Eastern Standard Time, youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Big Baseball Show.
How about in 2024, 4 years from now, Mr. Manfred's done. You step in.
Commissioner of Baseball?
Yes.
I mean, I think in 4 years from now, we're potentially going to be disappeared on an island. But if I am still around,
You come back just for commission.
still around, a big baseball show.
You can commish from an island.
You can.
I didn't even know Rob Manfred existed
See?
until the Houston Astros situation happened.
You can make bad decisions from an island.
By the way, that's that first impression thing.
Yeah.
It's tough to overturn a first
Yeah.
impression. It's very tough. And Rob Manfred, with people who don't know baseball, made a very poor first impression. Not good. As did we probably if you just tuned into this show. This is this show, by the way. we just talk about things that have no rhyme or reason to be talked about.
But that's what the people want. Studies show.
It gets the people going. We got to go to a break. Joe Rogan just made $100 million with Spotify, being his exclusive podcast, audio and video home. But he can still use clips on YouTube, from what I've been told. And he owns the IP.
That's a good deal.
Joe Rogan is what we like to call the blueprint. Joe Rogan is the model. Joe Rogan is a genius. There's a couple people that really do the internet right. We got a chance to work for Dave Portnoy, who does it right. I mean, right now they're slaughtering on the internet. Bill Simmons got a $250 million deal from Spotify. Joe Rogan just got a $100 million from Spotify. Barstool got valued at $450 million. Who's next?
Who's next?
Who's next?
Who's next?
Who's next? Who's What sleeveless son of a bitch has been in some very big conversations the last couple weeks? Ha! I want to let you know that after watching Pawn Stars and Shark Tank, I feel like I handle myself well in those calls.
Prepared you well.
Yeah.
I let them know that I'm not happy with that number.
Shark
No
Tank.
way. I don't like that number. We need to triple it, add a couple commas. What do you think? I am a stooge? They can't give you $1 trillion.
Why not?
Why not?
I'm here for
The
it.
banks have it.
We know that for a fact. That's a lie. There's no $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Oh, Einstein back here. 42 minutes after the hour. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
Lucky to be here at the Northrop Hall with the incredible Broncos crowd. College game day is having a blast here. Minnesota has shown up. Row the boat, Sky U-Mall, go Gophers. Let's get the axe and keep that thing in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The place is about to lose
lose their minds. Ladies and gentlemen, watch a man maestro a crowd like Coach Lee Corso.
Watch, now he'll say to me, works every time, what?
Every time. You just can't dog pee on a field. This obviously led to a nightmare situation for Luke Logan, who misses the extra point. An absolute pandemonium happened. But in Dwayne Haskins' defense, the Redskins and Dwayne Haskins might never win a game again. That guy's flexing like PJ Fleck a little bit. Good sells a little bit delayed. Great
got me the
for
throw.
ref. Throw the flag. Sell your soul. Who hates Iowa? A lot of hate here in Minnesota, Maria. Hey, you look good, pal. For me, right after we leave this octagon, I'm going to Lake Minnetonka. I'm pulling a swordfish out of there. Then I'm going to stop by Paisley Park. I'm going to pay my respects to Prince in the Purple Rain. Then I'm going to walk into TCF Bank Stadium, and I'm going to say,
That's pretty awesome, huh?
With all the uncertainty in the world, feeling safe at home has never been more important.
You're damn right.
That's why I want to talk to you about Simply Safe Home Security. They're longtime friends of this show, and for good reason. Yeah. Simply Safe has made it easy to finally get comprehensive protection for your home. There's no technician or salesperson that needs to come and disrupt your house. You don't need to pay any outrageous monthly fees or sign a 2-year contract. You just order online, set it up yourself in under an hour, and your home is protected 24/7 with emergency dispatch for break-ins, fire, and more. All for just 50 cents a day. And we're not the only fans of Simply Safe. U.S. News and World Report named Simply Safe the best overall home security of 2020.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Really? We must protect this house?
Exactly.
Yup.
Click, clack.
Yup.
Right now, when you head to simplysafe.com/Pat, our listeners will get free shipping and a 60-day risk-free trial. That's simplysafe.com/Pat to make sure they know that our show sent you. From Simply Safe and all of us here, wishing you safety and good health.
Hey, shout out to Simply Safe, by the way.
Good people.
Hey, good home security system, by the way. Just
Great.
want to let you know. Good home security system. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. We have a new segment that we wanted to debut today. We're not a big segment show, but we felt like we should probably add one. This one's called Quick 3. 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 Quick three. Okay, this will be a quick three subjects where I will be on a hot seat and I have to give my immediate reaction to. These are things that I've not heard about. Diggs is deciding to pick from a random topical news stories, and here we go, Diggs.
Horace Grant says 90% of the documentary is BS.
We talked about that in the open. Horace Grant is not happy. He was on the wrong end of the documentary, which I think does happen sometimes whenever documentaries or books are written. And I've always had the policy that when I tell a story and a teammate is involved or a friend is involved, if a friend is involved and looks bad, I will change the name and nobody will know it's said person other than me, the person, and the people around. And on the other hand, I'm always going to look like the idiot at the end of the day. That is because I feel as if your friendship is worth a lot more than the potential pop that you could get by burying somebody. But it felt like there was a lot of people who didn't have a lot of friendship with Horace Grant. I mean, whenever news was getting leaked out to from within the team, more than one person in the documentary said, well, that was Horace Grant leaking the news. So Horace Grant was not portrayed in a great light. He also said Scottie Pippen was not portrayed in a great light. There was no reason at all to show the clip of when he refused to go on the court whenever Tony Kukoc hit that game winner instead of Scottie Pippen. Jordan wasn't on the team. He was playing baseball at the time. They only showed that to make Pippen look bad. So Horace Grant has some gripes, not just about himself, but I think anytime you do a documentary and it's from one person's perspective or one side of it, the people who aren't going to be painted in a good light aren't going to be happy. Horace Grant says Scottie Pippen shouldn't be happy. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that guy that owns that Pizza Hut, who outed himself as the guy that brought the pizza to Michael Jordan, he's probably not happy either because he's told that story about delivering pizza to Michael Jordan the night before a game to all of his friends and family, probably a local commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Come on down to the Pizza Hut that delivered Michael Jordan pizza the night before the Utah Jazz played him or whatever, and it was called his flu game. He was fueled up with our pizza before that, blah, blah, blah. Now the documentary is like, well, that son of a bitch poisoned him. And that guy had to come out and be like, no, we've run an entire marketing campaign off of this. I've told all my friends and family about this. I did not poison. We only had 2 employees. It was just me. Nobody spit on the pizza like Michael Jordan did. Nobody put anything on her. It was just me making a damn good pizza from Pizza Hut. And we've been on the team that Pizza Hut is the best pizza available, but they are the most inconsistent batch and chain of pizza probably ever exist.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate, but that's what happens. You get the greedy corporate fat cats, they get their hands in there and they destroy a great thing.
What are they batting? Like 1 for 4 right now, probably?
Yeah.
Pizza Hut?
Not great.
If that.
At best.
We used to get Pizza Hut for the boys on Fridays, every single Friday.
Every week.
And first week, stellar pizza.
Great.
Unbelievable.
Second week, now we're starting to drift. Third week, bad pizza. Fourth week, bad pizza. Fifth week, good pizza. Okay, we're back. Ty and I are riding high. Everybody's like, oh, okay, we can't complain. That next week, down again. It was like Pizza Hut's just so inconsistent. And now this guy who owns a Pizza Hut out there is on the wrong end of the whole thing because he's been running with it. Number 2.
Pennsylvania Governor Tom Stooge Wolf attacks Ben Roethlisberger in comments about him getting his hair cut.
For those that don't know Pennsylvania government, Philadelphia has a lot more people than Pittsburgh does. All right? Same state, 2 very different situations happening. In the past couple governors have all been Eastern Pennsylvania people. You're talking about Ed Rendell. Is that his name? Ed Rendell, diehard Eagles fan. He was the governor of Pennsylvania, diehard Eagles fan, was on an Eagles pre-show and all that stuff. Steelers still in the state. This guy was over there. Now this guy, Tom Stooge Wolf, is mad that Ben Roethlisberger is over there getting his hair cut with guys who had gloves on in the barbershop, and he's getting back in the game. You know why? Because he's a Philadelphia guy. He's an Eastern Pennsylvania guy. He's an Eagles fan. So I just want to let everybody know that if you're listening to the governor talk, that is coming from a perspective of somebody that loves the Eagles. He's going, fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. But he's sung that song more than 20 to 50 to maybe 1,000 times in his life. So anything against the Steelers, he's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, that haircut has done more for Pittsburgh than that guy's ever done his entire life.
Bingo. What's the third thing?
Favorite rabbit hole you've ever gone down?
Oh, these parkour sons of bitches on Instagram need to be watched. You get into an extreme walking parkour rabbit hole on Instagram, your life is going to change. Well, you know, we got species of us, humans, doing double backflips and double front flips, and then doing like triple backflips off of houses, and they're running across the top of skyscrapers. We got a batch of humans that are amongst us that are absolute lunatics, and they're all on an Instagram rabbit hole in the parkour world. You'll find it. You'll get on one, and then you'll be like, well, that's not that impressive. That was kind of stupid. And then the next one will be like, did that guy just do a triple back? Holy shoot. It's my favorite rabbit hole. Hour one's wrapping up. Not bad there with quick three.
Quick three.
Yeah.
Quick three.
Quick three.
Quick three. Hour one is wrapping up. Radio, we'll see you on the other side. YouTube, let's continue this chat right now. Hello, YouTube. I almost said shit there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brandon Mcmanus said fucking.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
Don, our radio guy in Culver City. Okay, he dumped it, which is good news. Not a bad first hour here. Emmett, thank you, Don. Emmett, the first hour, what are your minutes? How good are they? We will do two because you've gotten to the point where you don't even finish one. So everybody remember that Mullet Mitt's minutes here. He will have time to run through his minutes from the first hour because we don't know what we talk about once we leave the studio, and it's nice to be updated. As soon as he makes some mistakes, though, as soon as the minutes are wrong, Mullet Mitt's minutes are up. So, ladies and gentlemen, intern Mullet Mitt.
Here we go, Mitt.
Here we go, Mitt.
Come on, Mitt.
Mitt's getting paid, by the way, very handsomely. Very handsomely.
King's ransom.
The boy said too much. I feel good about it.
Robbing the company.
All right, we got Horace Grant is upset with how him and Scottie Pippen were portrayed in Last Dance.
That boy, Emmett. Here we go.
In every story Pat tells, he's the idiot.
Bingo.
Pippen ain't easy. Fitzpatrick is Tua's biggest cheerleader, but wants to be on the field. The possibility of Tua versus Burrow week 13. The dark side of the ring, RIP Owen Hart. We got Diggs looking slim. We had talked about Pat's new aesthetically pleasing workout routines.
Thank you.
We talked about maintaining weight loss. We got introduced to Suburban Tie. Yeah. We talked about golf simulators and bedroom sets, pre-kick routines. Why the hell didn't my ancestors invent something cool?
Bingo.
We talked about
why didn't they? Did we ever get an answer to that?
No. We had Brandon Mcmanus come on. We talked about him recently entering fatherhood, Drew Lock being a fun guy, being one of the last old heads on the team, Von Miller testing positive for COVID-19, taking some rest time.
Yeah.
Within the next 2 years, Brandon Mcmanus will break the longest field goal record.
Bingo. Yeah.
If he doesn't rip his leg apart. We talked about leg strength. Talked about being coached by my father, Tom McMahon.
Shout out Tom McMahon.
We talked about being paid in beer. We talked about his new pitch for a food television show.
Pretty good, by the way. What's the name of it?
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Down in the minutes.
It did not make the minutes. Sorry, you didn't get it wrong, though.
We talked about the importance of punters being good holders. We talked about Camp Vinatieri and McAfee. Cody Parkey's double doink was blocked. We talked about making practice harder than it needed to be. MLB should be allowed to use steroids responsibly. This is a big baseball show.
Did you use exclamation points on that steroids responsibly thing?
The responsibly is exclamation points after.
How about big baseball show? Just a period?
Yeah.
It should be
Might be a half.
underscore.
That's okay. I mean, it wasn't wrong technically. It just wasn't as enthusiastic as we are about baseball.
Yeah, let's go. Big baseball show.
Hey, there it is. Hey, delivery, man. All right, bring it home, man.
Talk about Rob Manfred's poor first impression. Joe Rogan's $100 million from Spotify. Who's next? I don't know. We talked about Simply
inflection.
Safe security ad, and then we went through the quick three of Horace Grant still being mad, Pizza Hut's inconsistency, Pennsylvania's governor is an Eagles fan, the Steelers still own the state, and the parkour rabbit hole.
Well said.
There we go. Okay. There we go, Mullet Mitt.
Well.
All right, we're back. What are you doing back there, Connor? You didn't make any mistakes.
I erased it because I thought he would, but Mullet Mitt, he got
You
the
had
job
an error
done.
up there before he made an error?
I erased the errors because I figured Mullet Mitt
Connor's errors.
would make an error, but he
Connor's
didn't.
errors.
What's he at right now, Albert?
15.
I thought it was,
Whoa.
13.
it was
the other day.
13. Yeah.
Check the tape.
I mean, this board's been up there with a 15 all day. You guys can go ahead and check it out, but it's 15.
Did you just add errors this morning, even though it didn't work here?
I did not add errors this morning, Tony. But, if he shaves that hair, I will add 5 errors.
Well, yeah, you're right. Don't fucking do it. The hair looks good. Your dad likes the hair, yeah?
Yeah, he likes the hair.
How about mom?
I don't know if she's seen a picture of it yet.
Smart.
Good, yeah, just don't show her.
Smart. All right, we're back in 1 minute on radio and on the YouTube.
And by the way, I misspelled the governor. I forgot the R.
Fuck him.
All right. That's for the minutes.
The R.
Oh.
In governor.
Oh.
Governor. That's how I was spelling it.
Hello, governor.
Hello, governor.
I was doing my British accent.
Hello, governor.
Hello, governor.
Hello, Poppet.
Hello.
Parlay.
Jesus. Good morning, beautiful people. Oh, we turned the music down here a little bit. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Wednesday, May 20th, 2020, day X of quarantine, and live sports are back in our world, which is great news. Everybody, please remember the AFL is back in America, June 10th, in Australia, June 11th.
There we go.
Aussie Rules football, must watch. It's going to be late night, early morning. Do what you got to do. Watch it, give it a shot, and it's insane. I can't believe I haven't known about it. They're back. MLB is going to be back, allegedly. The NBA is going to be back. The NFL seems like it's going to go off without a hitch. Here we go. Golf is happening. A lot of trash talk between Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson. I'll tell you what, if you want to see people trash talk each other in a very PC fashion, very PC fashion, they've done it in an incredible fashion. I mean, obviously, last night, Tom Brady had one of the most savage tweets I've ever seen in my entire life, using the Michael Jordan look at the iPad meme or GIF whenever ESPN or somebody of that nature talked about my plans, Atlanta Falcons 28-3, my 2020, Tom Brady scoring a touchdown. We know Tom Brady can be an absolute savage, can be that is what Tom Brady is on the internet, a savage. He's kind of tempered it back a little bit because of his respect for Peyton Manning and his respect for Tiger Woods. Will that change on the course on Sunday on TNT, TBS, True TV? This is like a March Madness coverage of this thing. Find True TV, find the Bravo, find CBS, find TNT, find TBS. You will see Peyton Manning and Tiger Woods taking on Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady. Very kosher trash talk happening right now. Yeah. And I think Tom Brady's potentially saving all of his big old Kim Jong-un missiles for potentially 17, maybe hole 18, just to drop it down on Tiger Woods.
A lot of dad trash talk.
A lot of dad trash talk.
We got to ramp it up.
Well, they're not going to. That's just the world we live in right now. Dad trash talk wins because it's PC. There's no swear words. You're not offending anybody. You're not potentially bullying anybody, even though it's a state of competition with four of the most competitive humans to ever exist.
Yeah.
Something's going to get hot. If something gets contentious in there, I am here for it. That's really what's going to potentially save it. Because this last golf thing, the tailor-made driving relief thing, it stunk. It was a snooze fest. I liked that it happened. I got a chance to see the ocean again. Maybe felt like I was on a vacation. Stood very close to my TV. Tried to really get engulfed by the view there. Act as if I was on a mental vacation there for a little bit. But the coverage stunk. It was kind of boring. It was a snooze fest. But Rory McIlroy comes in and sticks 10 feet from 120 out to win the whole thing. Like we said, Rory, Dustin Johnson take it home. Now this week, the first match was a dud. This thing on Sunday was a dud. Will this Sunday on TNT, TBS, True TV, will this be a dud? Charles Barkley's on the call. I think he'll make it entertaining regardless. There's a guy that can cover house being painted and make it entertaining. You got Justin Thomas on the course. Justin Thomas kicked a guy out of the fans, off the course one time whenever he was getting heckled. Will he be a no-nonsense guy out there? Amanda Balionis will be out there, and the guy doing the play-by-play is obviously our boy, Brian Anderson.
Yep. Trevor Immelman will also be out there.
And I know all these people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I know exactly who all of them are. And I have faith that they won't make it suck like last one's kind of suck.
I think the back nine is where it's really going to pick up when they do the alternate shot.
Yes.
Because then it's like
Tiger chirping Peyton potentially for putting Tiger in a bad situation.
Yes.
Phil Mickelson chirping Tom because he put Tom in a bad situation. Maybe Tom and Peyton get into it. Did you just kick my ball? Did you cover up my ball? No. Who's far? I'm out. You're out. No. Measure. You're out. I'm not out. Who's out? Who's putting first? Did you just step on my line? I can't wait for that to potentially pop off, but I don't think it will because I feel like they're getting a whole crash course in golf course ethics right now.
That's what we need is some sort of cheating scandal out there.
Need it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Need somebody
Like
to kick.
foot wedge or something.
Tom Brady has to
Tom's
be
there.
involved in it too,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Has to be.
Don't you think they should also do like on a hole when they stepped up at the tee box, they throw a football into a garbage can, and whoever makes it in there first gets to move up 100 yards?
Yeah, just like a golf outing. Just like a golf outing. Let's add this a little bit of a spectacle. It's not for money in their pocket, right? It's for charity.
Charity, yeah, $10 million to charity.
Come on, let's make this thing a spectacle.
I also wouldn't mind seeing Tiger run like a post corner, seeing Peyton drop it in the bucket.
No, I do not want to see him do that.
Why not?
Because if he hits a bad shot the next one, his back's going to be hurt, and we lose Tiger for the next 3 years. We need Tiger in golf. I don't need him running any routes out there.
What about Phil?
Now, Phil, he can put his foot up over somebody's head. Maybe have him kick a football or something.
Phil,
Yeah.
there are videos of Phil throwing the ball around the yard.
And he uses his glove. I think I've seen him on a field throw or on a course throw. It looks like he was throwing it as hard as he possibly could, and it was a rocket. I'm scared it's going to be boring. Is there another NASCAR race this weekend?
Yes.
Probably.
It's going to be hard enough for me to flip over to that.
Is it going to help, though, that the charity money's already, like, guaranteed going to certain places, whereas with the Rory match, they're kind of competing for their charities?
I'm not 100% sure. I would rather that there was competition on the line.
I mean, those guys want to win no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think Peyton would want to lose to Tom in this whole thing.
Yeah.
He's been retired. He's supposed to be the better golfer. Tiger doesn't want to lose to Phil again. So maybe there is a little bit of intrinsic motivation, I'd assume, potentially happening. But I would like if – is that right? No.
I'm just very impressed
Internal?
you dropped that word.
Is that right?
Yeah, it works.
I don't know.
Intrinsic and same thing as internal. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but you just called yourself Albert Einstein earlier.
I don't know if it was used correctly, but it sounded correct.
Belonging
so.
naturally.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
Bingo.
Bingo. I used So it might be some intrinsic motivation out there. But I wish there was money on the line so they can maybe heat it up a little bit.
These guys.
Like I wish there was actually enough money to make them uncomfortable, like Jordan talks about whenever he's gambling with people. So then we can really get that. But I can understand why guys wouldn't want to do that either. I mean, but for a viewer, I'm like, yo, let's put like maybe a yacht up on this thing.
Or like Peyton had to. Oh, no, he doesn't own those anymore. If he had to put up a Papa John's location.
No, he sold those Papa John's, by the way, probably the most perfect time. And he got into the Papa John's business at the perfect time. I mean, Peyton made an incredible business decision on the way in and on the way out. He went in as soon as they legalized marijuana in Colorado, okay? So how many pizzas are being inhaled? All of them. After all the pots get smoking and then all the pizzas are eaten, he's in there. How's it going? In lieu of cash, just give me some franchises. Gets the franchises. And then he says, you know what? I'm not in the pizza business anymore. Papa John's burns the whole thing down anyways, like a couple months later. So, I mean, it was pretty smart on his part. Yeah, pretty smart. But I wish there was money on the line. I do. Yeah, for instance, maybe it's a nationwide commercial that's on the line.
Maybe Tom puts Guerrero on the line.
Yeah, the TB12 is potentially now a part of PM18.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, put that up on the line. Whenever we want to see something actually get lost, Tiger Woods, that yacht he has, get that thing up on the line. Phil Mickelson, calves, loses both of his calves. Everybody talks about how good his calves are. Boom, they're gone if you guys lose. This is what's on the line. Now that would make it a little bit better, but we'll have to rely on the intrinsic motivation from the boys. That's what we'll have to do.
Nothing like intrinsic motivation.
Nothing like
What if they
you
went,
know all about it.
Super Bowl ring on Super Bowl ring. They put both of their firsts up there.
See that? Now this is something I can live for. And then you get Pawn Stars guy in there somehow, Rick, and he wants to buy them both. I mean, now we're playing a game.
$10 right now.
That's not going to happen. It's for charity. It's for kids.
It's for the kids.
It's for the kids, which is good, by the way.
Yeah.
Is it for kids? What are they raising money for?
COVID,
I think it's COVID
assume.
relief, yeah.
But for which particular COVID relief?
I'll find out.
Sure.
Is it for masks? Is it for food? Is it for small businesses? What are they playing golf for this weekend? And who gets what if who wins? These are the questions that I need answered. I'm happy they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But I'm worried it's going to suck. All the boys here at Nick Moraldo, at Tone Diggs is here, Ty Schmidt's here, Jason McAfee's here, Viva Lazito's here, Evan Foxy's here, and Boston Connor is on the phones, 1-833-622-3331. How you feeling, Connor?
Feel good. Feel real good. Feel smart today.
Yeah, you do. E equals MC squared, doesn't it?
E equals MC squared. That is a fact.
What does the E stand for?
Electronics.
Oh my God.
E, energy.
Okay, what does the M stand for?
Mass.
Is that right? I think it's momentum.
I have no idea.
I think it's momentum.
It could be mozzarella sticks.
Could be mozzarella, and then the
Mozzarella
C
sticks.
could be cheese, right? Because that's what's in the mozzarella sticks.
yeah, square.
Then you square that, and all the energy that you get from that is next level.
A lot of carbohydrates.
This is saying here just
Intern Emmett is here as well. Mullet Mitt, what's up? Great minutes in the first hour. What's going on?
in general says COVID-19 charities.
So just all of them?
Maybe.
And who wins? How do they win? What's the money going to who, and how's it going to them?
It doesn't say.
Big Sunday for COVID-19 relief. I'm going to watch. I can't wait to watch. I think Peyton and Tiger are currently at minus 210 or something like that. Phil and Tom at plus 183 or something like that of that nature.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yesterday it was minus 205 for Tiger and Peyton, and Phil and Tom plus 184.
They're thinking Tiger and Peyton are just going to steamroll this whole thing.
Tiger's on a revenge tour.
Tiger's on a revenge tour. Peyton Manning's retired. He's probably been playing a little bit more golf. I said that they would win very easily.
Oh, yeah.
I said that very early. They would win very easily. Just like I said, Rory and Dustin were going to win very easily. And guess what? In the end, they did. Do I think Tom, being Tom Brady, isn't going to make this interesting at the end? There's about a 100% chance of that happening. Tom Brady's going to make this thing interesting. He's not just going to be sitting there taking this one right on the chin with him and Phil Mickelson while they're showing off their calves.
What was nice about the one this last weekend is the last hole was worth like $1 million or whatever, so at least either team could win on the last hole. I hope it's not a blowout.
You know what, though? Nobody was winning, though. That's why the skins carried over. So it was just boring. That's why it was so boring, is because nobody was winning them. That's why it carried over. Still nobody wins. Okay, how do we win this closest to the pin? And that was close. It was like, I think you have to have people making big putts. You have to have people winning, I think, for this whole thing to get exciting. Now, is this more on the golfers or the coverage? That is the question to be asked. I think the coverage could make the golfing better, but I don't think they have a lot of options, obviously, with the fact that nobody can be there.
True.
I just don't want it to stink. Joe Rogan sold his exclusive podcast rights and the entire Joe Rogan Experience library to Spotify for the next couple years. Nobody knows what that means, how long it is. He still owns the IP, the intellectual property of the Joe Rogan Experience in Joe Rogan's name, and he's getting $100 million for the podcast and the video, although clips will be allowed to be used on YouTube to push, obviously, to the podcast, which I would assume we don't know 100% of the details, so I don't know if that's right or not, but Joe Rogan is the blueprint. Joe Rogan is the model. Joe Rogan is the OG on the internet who's going to be a billionaire before everybody else is going to be a billionaire. He's the guy who has kind of set up this entire model of being a podcast, turning into a show, owning companies, marketing those companies, selling those companies. I mean, Joe Rogan is, from a guy that hosted Fear Factor, which was an incredibly hilarious show and gimmicky show, has transformed himself into a mogul, into a incredibly entertaining interviewer. I mean, and now he's just an incredibly more wealthy man. And in a couple years, he can redo this deal with Apple, maybe Amazon, maybe Google, maybe back up to Spotify. This is just a good move. Portnoy, in Barstool Sports, $450 million valuation. Penn Gambling and Gaming gets them. Bill Simmons sells The Ringer to Spotify. He becomes the head sports guy basically at Spotify, $250 million. Joe Rogan sells his podcast, exclusive video and podcast to Spotify, $100 million for a couple years. Our question is, who's next?
Who's next?
Who's next? Who is in the batter's box? Who in the big baseball show is sitting in the batter's box feeling very, very good about everybody else's very smart decisions, because there's a ripple effect that just so happens to maybe flow into Indianapolis, Indiana. We are in a good spot. We're happy for everybody who gets their money, because most importantly, that ups the ante for every other digital space. The Joe Rogans, the Barstool Sports, the Bill Simmonses, even the Bleacher Reports, those people that move the needle for the internet are massively important for all other internet companies. And I couldn't be happier for Joe Rogan and his experience.
Yeah, I graduated from business school, so this carries some weight. If I were, say, like YouTube or something like that, and a show was going live on YouTube every day, and it was like the biggest show live every day on YouTube, you would think that they would pay so that that person doesn't, go somewhere else exclusively or something like that.
Well, Diggs, what you're saying right there is right out of business school.
Yeah.
It's also, from what I've been told, some conversations that are happening, behind the scenes over there. Yeah.
I knew my brain.
Yeah, your brain's a good one. They say Duquesne, Ivy League, if not for all the cement. If there was more grass, the school that you went to that was probably more expensive than most Ivy League schools would have been an Ivy League school. And that's something to be said.
But also, like, if it wasn't for all the cement, like, would I be as, like, from the streets as I am?
Of course, because not only do you get book smart, you get street smart as well at Duquesne, and that's why you're paying $200,000 a semester.
Correct, because it's also in quite an area.
Exactly. But we are happy for Joe Rogan, ecstatic for Joe Rogan, just like we were for Dave and everybody at Barstool. Great news whenever the internet starts getting recognized for, the power that it has. It is exciting to think about, though.
It is.
Who's next?
Who's next?
Who's next?
Who? Probably not us. 13 minutes after the hour, we got to get to a break. We got Cash Cab's Ben Bailey joining us here in about 15, 20 minutes. Cash Cab is back, by the way, on Bravo. Yes, Bravo. Real Housewives, Below Deck, The Kardashian. No, that's E. Cash Cab. One of the most electric game shows in the history. You know it. You get in a taxi that's built like a van. There's lighting on the ceiling. Ben Bailey's driving in an incredible fashion. You're peppered with questions, earning money. That game is back. It's on live Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Bravo. New episodes premiered on May 13th. So let's go. Let's get into it. Back into the Cash Cab. We'll talk to Ben Bailey. We'll take some phone calls on the other side of this thing to address anything we haven't addressed yet before Ben Bailey gets on. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Wednesday, May 20th. Joining us now is our Canadian correspondent, a man who is not going to be able to get into America anytime soon. Gumpy, how are you, pal?
How we doing, boys?
Hey, great call on that Lieber Flusen game yesterday. Got big money off of that. You gave us a lock and it paid out.
Hey, that was a no-doubter. No-doubter.
No-doubter. Do you have any bets for today? Is there any soccer games today that we should know about?
No, we got nothing. No Bundesliga till Saturday. Liverpool back in training. They tried to take it from us 30 years without a title. The null and void, boys, but we're going to get our title.
That a boy. You never walk alone, you stupid Reds, right? Ain't that what it is?
Except the stupid part.
Null and void, boys. Okay. Hey,
Horace Grant.
Oh, he is not happy. He is not happy with how he was portrayed in that documentary. Have you ever seen a documentary or a book written that didn't piss somebody off, though?
Has to. But Horace Grant left Chicago because he wanted the ball more. Also was cut by Doc Rivers at the Magic for being a cancer.
That side of the story is not being talked about here enough. Everybody said, hey, Horace was the guy that was leaking information to the news from inside our team. He's getting cut now from teams for being a cancer, says Doc Rivers. I mean, that has to be talked about as well. We can give him a voice because he deserves to be heard, especially if his side hasn't been heard. But we also have to take in all the other facts. Is that what you're saying, Gumpy?
Yeah, there's two sides to every story, Pat.
Well, hey, here's a story that's not good coming out of Canada. A, the border's closed. B, CFL's done.
CFL's done. They're asking for money from anybody.
Joe Rogan should think about going. Maybe Joe Rogan. How about Spotify? Why doesn't Spotify just go save CFL? It'll be Spotify CFL and just run that thing on Spotify.
Does it work?
That's a good idea.
What, 50 million? How much would it be, you think? 10 million? 5 million? A million? How much is CFL worth, you think? It's big up there. Don't you guys like your CFL up there?
It is big, but it's like an older crowd. Like, I don't think many younger people watch it. Like, I don't watch it personally. I did growing up because my grandpa was a big Saskatchewan Roughriders fan.
Oh, the Rough Riders don't fuck around. I had some friends that went up there and played in the CFL. They said they enjoyed their experience, but I don't know the area. Down here, it's not that big. I just don't know about Canada.
They're asking for 150 million.
150 mil?
How many teams are there?
7.
8. There was the best part was there were 8 teams at one point. Both 2 teams were called the Rough Riders.
What's that all about, Gumpy? You guys don't got creativity up there?
They changed the name to the Red Blacks.
Not a great name.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Pretty creative.
Yeah.
Saskatoon needs an expansion team.
All right, you calling back tomorrow, Gumpy? I need a Canadian update tomorrow.
Yeah, we got some German picks for the weekend tomorrow, boys.
All right, we appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen.
Go.
Good luck to Canada, pal.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers.
Ray J in the house, y'all.
Hey!
Everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds, and you already know Raycon earbuds start about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market.
Uh-huh.
And they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
I know, thank you.
Hey, nailed it.
Thank you.
Zito runs the lower thirds. He runs the graphics here. He finds pictures. He does all that stuff. Zito Productions. He runs Zito Productions. And he's also the best ad reader to ever come into the ad reading game.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. You're doing great today.
Bulletin 1. Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are the best ones yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit.
We like the boom booms, don't we?
Oh,
we like the boom boom. Yeah, and the break on. Half the price still got the boom boom. And the night together, from now until forever. Boom 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 boom. I want you in my ears.
Oh, ears.
And the night together. 6 hours of pairing.
Raycon wireless earbuds are so comfortable, perfect for conference calls, video chats, or binging podcasts.
Oh!
Please share your experience with unlike some other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet, with no dangling wires or stems.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Woo! Say, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's got bullied there by Zito.
You've heard me talk about how the company was co-founded by Ray J, y'all, and celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Cardi B, Melissa Etheridge, Brandy, and J.R. Smithy are obsessed with Raycon. Now, the time to see what the hype is all about. I'm going to call the action report.
Please do. Give him a call.
All right. Get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/Pat. That's buyraycon.com/Pat for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. That's buyraycon.com/Pat.
Attaboy, Z. One of your best ones yet. Good toss over the head, too. Bleacher Report is breaking news that an NFL player is suing an airline. Unnamed NFL player is suing the United Airlines. He alleges that he was sexually assaulted and harassed on a recent flight. I didn't know flights were still happening. I don't know what happened to said NFL player, unnamed NFL player, but he is not happy, by the way. When you have to go through the entire process of suing somebody, that's an entire, you got to file a claim, you got to do this, you got to get a lawyer. Something happened on this plane. We're going to get to the bottom of it. And for the first time, the NFL player is not on the receiving end of the punishment here. It sounds like an airline. And for that, I say, very sad situation, obviously. Hope everything's okay. But I'm happy to hear that the NFL player wasn't in the wrong, because that has been the news as of late. As of late.
It's a nice change of pace.
Sexually assaulted and harassed on a recent flight. Those are some pretty strong allegations there.
Oh, yeah.
That is some So it had to be by the flight attendant, or did the pilot come out of the cockpit and start dancing around
You
in
never know with those guys.
Someone who just got traded, maybe. The person on the flight was a fan of the team, and they weren't very happy about him being moved.
Or maybe they were too
happy.
They were excited.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure how this plays out, but this is a pretty massive headline here that Bleacher Report just dropped on us out of middle of nowhere.
The only problem is the airline's not a lot of money to sue for right now.
Yeah, the airline's going under down there, unfortunately.
Fortunately.
Oh.
I do believe.
They will be one of those businesses that do survive the quarantine.
The airlines?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they'll get bailed out. They'll get like $700 trillion.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Dick.
I have an update for you. You asked if there was NASCAR this weekend.
Yep.
It's actually, they're doing Wednesday, Sunday schedules. So there's one tonight, and then Sunday, and then Wednesday again, and then Sunday.
There's a NASCAR race tonight?
Tonight.
Is Dana White putting on fights tonight?
Nah.
So it's only the first week. NASCAR said Dana White model, let's get 2 in a week because we have something to make up for in our point system in the entire thing. They're going up against WWE NXT and AEW tonight, which could be a problem for them. But I guess if there's a NASCAR race, where at?
Same place, Darlington.
Okay, and that's white knuckle driving down there in Darlington. They get tight in the turns there. Now, Kevin Harvick, he waltzed his way to victory lane, obviously. Did a couple good donuts, too. The whole thing was awesome. But whenever you're driving at Darlington, you got to really hope you seat up top because if you're in the back in the mess, and you get 3 wide in there, you got no shot, pal.
Forget about it.
You got no shot.
Racing.
No, Rubbin is racing until Rubbin is wrecking, and then when wrecking's racing, that's when you're losing a lot of money.
Exactly.
No, from experience in another form of racing.
Yeah.
People forget. I had a car in the Indy 500 at one point. I know a little bit about racing.
Oh, yeah, you do?
Kyle Larson racing tonight?
I don't think so.
That's interesting.
I think he's out.
That's very interesting. They're racing Wednesday, Sunday, so there is a race on Sunday at Darlington as well?
No, so they go Darlington, they go Charlotte.
Okay, so they're down in Charlotte on Sunday. So do Peyton and Tom and Phil and Tiger know that NASCAR is just one click away on Sunday? Because I don't think Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, Matt Wolff, and Ricky Fowler knew that. No. I don't think the people that were covering that knew that because I'll tell you what, never in my life have I ever said, you know what, let's watch a NASCAR race. I started watching that golf thing and I was snoring. I was like, let's go check out what NASCAR's doing because I get a lot of people that tweet me about covering NASCAR a little bit more. It was electric. And then I go back to the golf thing. It's like, oh, still nobody's won. Okay, let's go over here. Go back to the golf thing. Nap, snooze. Let's go back to the NASCAR thing. I feel like I'm going to have a pretty similar Sunday coming up here.
They had 6 million.
The NASCAR race?
Yeah, on
it was
Sunday.
Electric. 6.3 million. They led the weekend or whatever. They led the weekend. They beat The Last Dance in ratings.
That's crazy.
NASCAR race beat The Last Dance.
Wow.
Yeah, the numbers that The Last Dance were putting up were nowhere near what I thought they would be. Just because everybody in my world has been completely engulfed in The Last Dance, and I always assume that if I feel a certain way or I view something a certain way, a lot of people are viewing it. Now, granted, 6 million people is still a lot of people, or 5.8 or whatever it was, still a lot of people, but I thought that would be up there in like the 8 to 10 million range because everybody's talking about it. There ain't jack diddly squat else on. Let's go ahead and watch it. NASCAR comes through and says, hey, you want to see some cars move fast? You want to see something that started with the moonshiners? You want to see some guys and ladies? Do any ladies race?
In NASCAR?
I haven't seen one in a while. A couple years.
Guys and ladies race really fast cars. We'll do it for you with a lot of action, potential death, and all that stuff. You know what? There was somebody that crashed. Might have been Jimmy. Jimmy crashed?
Yes, he did.
The walls are like trampolines at this point.
give.
It is very, very smart. The technology since the Intimidator, I think, is the
that
big
was the
move.
change.
The technology was next level. His car, it was like this. The car went into the wall and then like came out. It like caught him almost like a slingshot.
Wow.
Is that not more dangerous for the other drivers on the track?
No, they got to keep their head on a swivel like they're in a cockfight, obviously. But I do believe getting through all the mess is a big weapon that you have to do or have to deal with.
Hi. Say hi.
Clear. Loud. Biggest of the weekend. NASCAR won the weekend.
Wild.
Didn't see that coming.
Beat The Last Dance and the golf thing. Knew they were going to beat the golf thing. As soon as you turned on the golf thing, you knew that somebody else was going to beat the golf thing. And then The Last Dance, I was like, I'd assume this one would be the one. Nah, it's not. Should we do a watch along for the golf thing? Maybe spice it up a little bit.
That's not a bad idea.
Maybe we do that. That would require me spending Sunday down here, which I don't love doing because I like napping on a Sunday. But I think, would it make the golf better?
Do we bring it to you?
Plus, if you want to nap, maybe the first 9, you know.
Oh, maybe the back 9 whenever they're playing alternate shot. Yeah. But then we wouldn't be there for the whole thing. We might as well be there for the whole damn thing if we're going to do it. Yep. TBD if we do that. That's quite a commitment.
Yeah.
Is there supposed to be sun out on Sunday? If sun's supposed to be out in Indiana, there's zero chance of this
I
happening.
think sun has to come out since it's Memorial Day weekend. I think that's a law.
I have seen only clouds and thunderstorms on the weather app, so I'm not sure if the sun is coming
I have
out.
not seen the sun in Indiana in at least a month at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a long time. We had spring there for a little bit, but now we're back to flooding at all times. 70 just opened up. A highway just opened back up. It was closed for 2 months. I was just hydroplaning home the entire time. What's going on, Diggs?
Sunday is 86 with seeing a 35% chance for rain.
35% means 35% of the area will get rain,
I
right?
just went to 40%.
No,
40% no.
It's rising.
Was it like bets? Like if we hammer, did that thing just move the odds
Well, it
there?
depends on who you're looking at.
Let's get to a break for radio. We'll take some phone calls during that break. We got Ben Bailey joining us on the other side. We talked about everything we've had to talk about, right? Mm-hmm. Tom Brady's throwing with his teammates. Pause that music. Tom Brady went to a prep school down in Tampa Bay and got some work in with his teammates. O.J. Howard was there. O.J. Howard, by the way, if you do recall, was potentially on the trading block. They bring in Gronk. Allegedly, O.J. Howard, who's a very talented tight end, was not happy about this. So to hear that O.J. Howard is out there training with Tom Brady at this prep school, good news. I believe Mike Evans was also there. I'm not 100% sure if Godwin was there. It would look like I saw Blaine Gabbert there as well throwing alongside him. So it feels like Tom Brady is getting the boys together down in Tampa. This was a big thing that we talked about with this new offense coming in. Is it going to be the Tom Brady offense or the Bruce Arians offense? We talked to BA. BA said, well, it's going to be our offense, but obviously anytime you get a chance to talk to Tom Brady, you're going to add him in there a little bit. So we were wondering, will Tom Brady and the boys have enough time with this quarantine to be able to get on the same page? Will Tom Brady and the boys, since Tom Brady's being kicked out of parks, be able to exercise and work out with his new wide receivers and get timing down? Here he is going to a prep school down there. He's playing, I believe it looks like guard at this point. But I like this for them, and I like this for the Buccaneers because they are behind in their training because they're playing against Drew Brees and the Saints in the NFC South. They have the same offense. They have the same exact setup. They're ready to go for next year. Sean Payton actually said, we're not doing a Zoom meetings. I'll see you at training camp. You've got the Atlanta Falcons who have Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and a lot of their offense back. Bring in Todd Gurley. He's going to have to get up to speed. Teddy Bridgewater going to Carolina. They're going to have the same problems, but everybody thought Tampa might have problems because in the first year in Bruce Arians' offense, you are known to throw a lot of interceptions. Carson Palmer did it. Jameis Winston threw 30 last year. Tom Brady's first year in Bruce Arians' offense, they were going to need some time to gel and mold. They're doing that at a prep school. I like to see this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, all of a sudden, all the way back up in the NFC in my eyes.
Huge for them. I mean, this is like huge for them. Any team with a new quarterback, like you said, this is big for it. If the restrictions get loosened a little bit and the facilities aren't open yet because not everyone could open, but you could go to a local high school.
Well, you got to remember, Tom Brady's throwing at the local high school here with some of the boys trying to learn the offense and get the timing down. Nobody says anything. Governor's probably applauding this.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger goes out there and throws with his teammates, get his beard trimmed, and the governor, who's a Philadelphia Eagles fan, comes out and starts chirping about how that's bad. How about morale boost in Pittsburgh, Governor?
Yeah.
Hello, Governor. Hello, Governor. I ate a bag of fornicators, Governor. That's what everybody in Pittsburgh's saying, not us. But I like that Tom Brady's getting that work in. Leadership, by the way. Good leadership by Tom Brady putting this together. And he's wearing full pads, and he's making others wear pads as well, which I didn't see before.
I was going to say, I didn't see Blaine wearing pads. You think he's judging Blaine like, hey, this is why you didn't really pan out?
He
as
had
a
his helmet on, though,
quarterback?
didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shoulder pads.
No shoulder pads, but he had his helmet on. I didn't know this many people trained with their helmets on, by the way. Tom Brady was one of the first people who was like, oh, this guy trains in full gear in the offseason. I did not know that.
Tom was walking the routes for Mike Evans, showing him exactly where to cut.
And
This is going to be a lot of Tom's offense.
And by the way, well, maybe Tom just expects you to be at a certain spot
likes precision.
for a slant or whatever. Like, hey, whenever you run a slant, this is where I would like you at. And remember, Tom Brady said on Howard Stern, he said, if I don't trust a guy, I'm not going to throw him the ball. So you can put a guy on the field or whatever all you want. If I don't trust him, I'm not going to throw the ball. And trust means I know where he's going to be. He knows where he's going to be. We're on the same exact page. What were you going to say, Z?
Is it weird there's no Gronk there?
Oh, trouble in paradise.
O.J. Howard's down there, isn't he?
Well, he's
When you want your
24/7.
both tight ends to be together?
He's 24/7 champ, so he's
Yeah,
gotta-
Gronk also, he just run, catch ball, spike ball, he. You know, he doesn't need to practice.
Well, Gronk might not have been in town yet, by the way. He might have been moving or something like that. I would assume Gronkowski will be at these workouts. I think that's a big thing Tom Brady likes to do, is he likes to throw with his guys, as do all premier quarterbacks, by the way. They like to get in throwing sessions with their guys. We got to get to a break. We got Ben Bailey from Cash Cab on the other side. We'll take some phone calls during the break at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Wednesday, May 20th. This is a sports show. Thanks for listening or watching. Here we go. Let's go to Jake in Arizona. What's going on, Jake?
Hey, how we doing, boys?
Not too shabby. How are you, pal?
Oh, I'm doing great, First things first, I want to say congratulations to you and the boys on such an amazing season. You guys went through, jumping all over the country. It was incredible, and I was so happy to be along.
Good for us. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for following along with us, too. We needed you, Jake. Without you, we probably wouldn't have got it done.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. It was a pleasure to listen in daily. The one thing I do want to talk about, you and I are about the same age, and when I was in high school, Noel Devine was the most electric high school football player I had ever seen. You got to play with him at West Virginia, and I would love to hear just kind of what was it like playing around that and just the incredible West Virginia guys you had around you.
Shout out, Jake, for bringing up Noel Devine. Noel Devine, out of Florida, his high school highlight tape made him a 5-star, whatever the top-rated recruit is, and he somehow came to West Virginia when Deion Sanders was acting as a pseudo-father for him, and Florida State wanted him bad. He chose West Virginia over Florida State, and I was like very amazed by that. I was a part of the hosting process whenever he came to Morgantown. I batted 1,000, by the way. If I was around in the recruiting visit, there was about 100% chance they were going to come to West Virginia. And I took a lot of pride in that, by the way. But Noel was a great teammate. Noel was a very hard worker. Noel was liked by absolutely everybody. And he just so happened to be faster than damn near every human I've ever seen. His highlight tape on YouTube, though, is still one that gets played. Tavon Austin is another highlight play, a reel that deserves to be watched from college at West Virginia. I assume his high school one is also insane. There was a guy from us, though, when I was in high school. I'm a little bit older than that guy, obviously, Jake. And him saying we're same age is very nice of him because I think he was younger than me, so that makes me feel good. Normally, bartenders and bouncers think I'm 40. They don't even check my ID anymore. It's been happening.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, it's
disrespectful.
Well, and Bucci Man on my birthday said you're only 33. Lay off the carbs, pal. You look terrible.
Jesus
Who said
Christ.
Bucci Man. Bucci Man.
The Gross?
Yeah, him. Yeah, Bucci Gross.
That's not very nice.
Well, I didn't know we were like that either. I almost went through my Twitter and slapped him in the fucking mouth. I'm joking. But yeah, we had a guy whenever I was in high school named Justin King, who ended up going to Penn State. He ran like a 4.1 or a 4.2 40 or something like that. Whenever we played, he was at Gateway High School. Whenever our high school played against him, he touched the ball 7 times, and he had 6 touchdowns. 7 times, 6 touchdowns. I tackled him. I was the only person to tackle him. It was on a punt return or a kickoff return. I forget what it was. I almost forced a fumble. I was the only human to tackle him in the game. And he did that every single week. He was the number 1 recruit coming out, went to Penn State. He got drafted to the Rams, I believe. He had a groin issue. But when he was in college, he was must-see, or when he was in high school, it was must-see football. And our team just so happened to be on the receiving end of it. He touched it 7 times, scored 6 touchdowns. Jeez. It's fucking outrageous.
He was good enough that I remember like when Pete Carroll was in town recruiting him across the country, like it was like the number 1 story on the news.
Yeah, he was a stud. But there's always that guy, I think, in every I assume there's a lot of guys around the country that just didn't pan out. Jason Gwaltney was another guy we got at West Virginia. He was a running back out of New York, Bonkers, New York. He was like 240 pounds. He used to run a 4.4. He was an absolute beast in high school. And then he got to college and something just didn't pan out. I don't know why it didn't work with him ever. It just didn't. He got the ball sometimes. He ran some people over. Then some days he didn't get the ball. I forget. He was a nice dude too. He's very nice to me. But Noel was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, there's nothing better than watching a good highlight reel.
DeMarco Murray, incredible high school highlight reel.
There we go.
Tavon Austin's got a good one too.
Yeah, there we go.
Allen Iverson has a great high school football.
Also, that white kid that played quarterback and point guard at Duke.
Greg Paulus.
Yeah, he has a great high school highlight tape. Yeah, he was allegedly the number 1 quarterback and number 1 point guard recruit, just like AI. Allen Iverson's a guy who probably could have played football forever if he wanted to.
I would assume.
Carl Crawford, too.
Here we go. Hey, how about LeBron James? You ever seen his high school highlight of football?
He's pretty good.
He was really good. I only saw 2 catches. I have no idea.
He ran like he was acting in
on
Remember the Titans.
You think Zion played football?
No, he was just dunking on little
couldn't risk it.
I think you're right.
We got Cash Cab's Ben Bailey joining us in 15 seconds.
Yes!
I am pumped for this.
Let's go.
I am pumped for this. Woo! Cash Cab's back, by the way. Wednesday nights on Bravo. 15 seconds until we're back on radio. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Joining us now, legendary game show host of the Cash Cab. Also does stand-up comedy from his basement every Wednesday and Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on his Instagram and his Twitter, which can be found at Real Ben Bailey. Ladies and gentlemen, the actual Ben Bailey.
Yeah, Ben! How's it going, guys?
I'm great, Ben. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great. As well as I could be. I've been on lockdown for like 11 weeks or something.
Well, I'm happy that you've been making content in the basement, streaming live Wednesday and Sundays, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. How is that performing to absolutely no crowd other than the people on the internet?
It is, it's difficult. I'm not going to lie. It's not easy. I got my girlfriend doing a laugh track. I lifted some laughs from my last stand-up special, and I've got them on a little thing. She could touch a spot on the screen and give me a laugh so I don't feel like I'm dying up there. But, it's been good. It's been really fun. It's been something to do. It's been like a little bit of normalcy through this thing. Get to do a show every couple nights.
Your voice is so good. Did you ever get into radio? Were you ever going to do radio? You have that deep voice. I think that is just like a noticeable, memorable voice.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. Well, I never had my own radio show. I did a podcast for a while called Tall But True, a storytelling show, and I've done a lot of radio, but I like radio. Radio's good. You can roll out of bed and do it. Nobody can see you. It's kind of nice.
We can see you right now, and we appreciate you FaceTiming in. And whenever you had us facing the other direction, I saw a dry erase board behind you. Is that like is that a strategy board? What is that thing back there?
That's those are all ideas for films and web series and shorts and TV shows and stuff. All these things that I'm planning to produce at some point.
Which one do you think is actually going to work out of all these?
Well, some of them I've done already. The top left corner, it says BWAM, that stands for Badly Written Action Man, which is a web series. I made the first episode of it. You can watch it on my YouTube channel if you want.
Badly Written Action Man?
Yeah, he's like the world's greatest action hero with the world's worst writer. So his lines are, he saves the day, but his lines are delivered just terribly badly, and they're long and wordy and awful.
Okay, well, I'll check that out later today. I also am very pumped that Cash Cab is back, Ben. This was a show. Hey, you and I spent a lot of time together. You didn't know this, but with a lot of people, I'd assume Cash Cab was something you could watch 45 episodes of it straight, and we did, and then all of a sudden it stopped, and then now it's back. Why did it stop? Was it kind of just run its course, and then why did we bring it back? And everybody's very pumped up about that.
I hate to say it, but I really don't know why it stopped the first time. They just called me and said, "Hey, we're closing the Cash Cab chapter." Oh, geez. And that was literally all the information that I got. And I said, Jeopardy has been on for like 40 years, right? And the woman from the network, the previous network, she was like, "Oh no, I didn't know that." And I was like, "Well, it has." And so that was all I ever found out about why. And then a few years went by, and they brought it back. I think it was 4 years in between. So we've been back this is the second run of shows on Bravo, but before that we had been back for a couple of years with the previous network.
So that's an incredible.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
It's such a novel concept. I mean, it's just a brilliant concept that was just sitting out there, and I think that's why everybody liked it so much. It was like I could see myself in New York hopping into this thing and being like, here we go. Then you put yourself in that position. How would I have done? Oh, it's a red light challenge. Am I calling a phone? Am I doing this? It was just such a brilliant idea. Were you a part of the concept creation, or were you just hired to be the host?
I just auditioned repeatedly. I went back 6 times and got the job as host, but I had nothing to do with the creation of the show.
Well, it's a great show, and you are a part of the creation of this show we're about to do right now. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cash Chat. Cash Chat. Okay, so Ben, you've hosted one of the greatest trivia shows in the history of trivia shows. Okay, there's been a lot of them.
Well,
yours has survived, and it's back every Wednesday night, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Bravo.
Bravo, our new home. Yeah, I think it's 11:30 though. I think.
That information.
It's possible that I'm wrong as well, but I think it's on after Watch What Happens Live, which is 11 to 11:30.
Okay, so at 11:30, after Watch What Happens Live, just like we're getting to, every Wednesday night on Bravo, Cash Cab is back. We're going to play a game called Cash Chat. For every answer you get correct, we will add $100 that we will give away in the YouTube comments section to a YouTube commenter that is currently putting their Venmo or Cash App inside of it. You will get 3 strikes. We will have a red light challenge, and at the end, you will be asked if you want to go all in on a double or nothing and potentially earn $0 for the YouTube commenter section. You ready to do this?
Sure. I hope it's not sports questions.
No, actually, I wanted more sports questions. We actually want the trivia route. We feel as if these
All
are.
right. I have a better chance then. I love sports, but I'm not one of those guys that knows like all about players and all that stuff. So.
Oh, the red light challenge might be a problem.
Yeah, but you can throw out as
right,
many names as you want. So,
all right, here we go. Question number 1 for $100 to give away in the YouTube comment section to those who are putting their Cash App, Cash Tag, or their Venmo names in there right now. Number 1. Hey, welcome into the car, by the way. What do you got? You got about 7 blocks here? That's the whole Ben.
Let me out of here. Let me out of here. I don't want to play.
How many planet Earths, can fit inside the sun? Is it A, 130,000 planet Earths inside the sun? Is it B, 1,300 planet Earths inside the sun? Or is it C, 1.3 million Earths can fit inside the big ball of fire, the sun?
130,000.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Wrong. I mean, that's just. By the way, it was surprising to me when I heard the answer too. 1.3 million Earths can fit inside the sun. The sun's a big son of a bitch.
You got to go with your gut. I was like, it's probably 1.3 million, and I was like, no, he's baiting me. He's trying to get me.
See that? Do you ever do that? Do you ever do
turn
that?
the tables? I want to host. I don't want to answer.
Do you do any, like, how hard is it when you know the answer to a question to read all of the answers in a monotone fashion without giving it away?
Well, we don't have multiple choice. They just have to know it.
Well, let's get to that right now then. Which 2 states don't observe daylight saving time? There's 2 states that don't observe daylight saving time. They are for $100 with Ben Bailey on Cash Chat to the YouTube comment section. Which 2 states are they?
Oh, wow. I've really made this a lot harder for myself by telling you that.
I know.
Indiana.
Okay.
And Hawaii.
You can get one more guess. Hawaii is right. Indiana is not. It's the worst. We shouldn't do it. We do it. There's another state, though, that's in the desert that does not.
Arizona.
Hey! Attaboy, Ben! Attaboy, Ben.
Indiana used to do that, right?
Indiana, yeah. We were late to the game. We shouldn't be in it, but Arizona and Hawaii.
Well, Indiana didn't do it, but they do.
By the way, if you were in charge, we'd all be happier that we don't do it because it's kind of a waste here because we're right on the line of Central Time and Eastern Standard Time. It's a big to-do.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What was the first toy to be advertised on television, Mr. Ben Bailey?
The first toy, the Slinky.
We all said that as well.
Oh, really? But it's not right. Rock.
Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head. It's all right. We're getting there. Hey, we still got $100. We still got $100. We got more money. Mm-hmm. We're not keeping track of the strikes because we don't have that technology to do so. So don't even worry about it. This one's going to be very tough. What is the loudest animal on Earth? The loudest. You get 3 guesses at this one. The loudest animal on Earth.
An elephant.
It's not correct. Close, though.
Close. Okay. His brother.
The sperm whale. Correct! Hey, Ben! Attaboy, Ben! $200.
Wait, what was it? What did I say, right? The sperm whale?
Which city will host the 2028 Olympic Games? $200 on the board. Here we go for another 100. 2028 Olympic Games will be hosted in what city?
London.
London's Angeles, Los Angeles. Here we go, Ben. According to
nice correct answer sound. I like that.
Wow.
Hey, do you hit the lights on the roof of the cash cab?
Yeah. I do. I turn them on.
It's just a button or what?
Yeah, it's a little switch. I wait till I have them just like till they want to kill me for asking the same questions over and over, and like you never see that part. But I'll be like, "What?" They'll give me their destination. I'll be like, "What? What? What?" Over and over till they want to punch me in the head, and then I hit the lights.
When you're refilming it now, Uber and Lyft, has that completely changed the game for you? I feel like the only reason why I would take a taxi in New York is to potentially end up in the cash cab.
Yeah, maybe you're right about that. I don't know. In New York, people are still hailing cabs. Well, when people are back out in the street, it hasn't changed that much in Manhattan as far as hailing a cab. I think with most other places it has. But
does everybody know when they're in there?
No, that we do our best to keep it a secret. I mean, sometimes they open a door and they go, "Hey, Ben Bailey." I'm like, all right, well.
All right, come on, play the song and dance here. Let's do a little give and take here.
Totally.
Does anybody ever get in there that doesn't speak any English at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had that happen, yeah.
How's that go? You just drive them and drop them off?
They just, usually it's a couple of blocks later we pull over, like, "Sorry, see you later." They're like, "Bye." Thank you, bye.
How many people do you film in one day?
We try to get 6 good games in a shoot day, but we don't always. Sometimes they're not always great. Sometimes it's somebody who doesn't speak English or somebody who can't play or whatever. So.
And when you're in the middle of a good one, you know it, huh? You're driving like, "Oh, this is going to be a good one."
Oh yeah, you could tell. Yeah,
it's a good show.
The first good one was it took us like several weeks before we got back at season 1. It took us weeks before we got like a really good game. And when we did, I remember we were all standing around outside after looking at each other like, "Wow, man, that was kind of, there was something special about that. I think we might be onto something here,
You guys started adding the red light challenge wasn't there initially, I don't think, was it?
It was there, but it was boring. Like I'd be like, "You guys have $500 and we're at a red light, and that triggers a red light challenge." And they were like, "Oh, okay." And then one day I just yelled it, and everybody went nuts.
Red light challenge! We're in one right now. Here we go. Can you name the 5 teams that were highlighted in The Last Dance? 5 NBA teams, at least 5. Can you name at least 5 teams that were highlighted in The Last Dance? Chicago Bulls is one of them. You'll have a minute to complete this. You can just shout out names. There's no such thing as a wrong answer. We begin right now.
Chicago Bulls.
Yep.
One. There's
the
one.
Golden State Warriors.
Nope.
Lakers.
Yes.
Yep. The Heat, the Jazz, the Knicks.
Jazz, Knicks.
One more.
The Nets, not the Nets.
Oh no! Don't do
Bullets. It's the Sixers. The
Bullets running for a second.
Shit, not real. Shoot, I mean, not real.
Can we swear in this?
No, no, I can't. I just. We got 25 seconds. Let's.
I can't think of a single other basketball team.
was it Harry?
Who's the Indiana team?
Pacers.
Bingo! Yeah, man! There we go. Add another 100 on there for that. Big sports guy, Ben Bailey.
Red light challenge.
What is the currency in Vietnam?
The Vietnamese.
Close.
Was that close? All I can think of is the yen, but it's not that. The Luan.
Close. The answer we're looking
I made that up.
Yeah. The answer we're looking for was the Vietnamese dong.
Has there been spinoff shows in other countries that you've seen?
Yeah, is there other cash cabs like in?
I haven't seen them, but there's a lot of them. Yeah, and some places they have my show that they play. I was just on a video Zoom chat thing with one of the comedy clubs, the Comedy Cellar in New York, with a bunch of comedians, and one of the guys was Brazilian, and he goes, "Ben, it's weird for me to hear you with this manly voice, because in Brazil we have cash cab and it's dubbed over with a very feminine man's voice." was like, oh my God, I want to see that. I'm like, make a recording and send it. I've looked, I couldn't find it though. But
all right.
Yeah, so it's all over the place.
Here we go. $400. This is the bonus question. Do you want to risk $400? If you get it right, though, it's worth $1,000.
Oh, wow. I don't know the math there, but I'm in.
Well, it's 150%.
Okay, 150%.
Yeah. It's actually right, I think. Holy hell. Just pulled that rate. What is the longest field goal in NFL history?
Oh, boy. I thought it was 54 yards for a long time. A dude with half a foot.
Add 10 to that.
But I think...
add 10 to that.
I think that it...
Ben, just add 10 to that.
64.
Yeah! Ben did it! $1,000 for the YouTube commenters from Ben Bailey. Catch Cash Cab. Wednesday nights, 11:30 on Bravo. Catch his stand-up from his basement at Real Ben Bailey. Wednesday and Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, game show host Ben Bailey. Thank you, Ben.
Thanks so much, you guys. That was
awesome. You were
really
awesome.
fun.
You were awesome, man. You were awesome. Can't thank you all enough for listening here on this Wednesday, May 20th. You're the best. We're back tomorrow. Same radio channel that you heard us on today. From Indianapolis. Indiana! Okay. Hey, not bad there.
Not bad.
Those were tough questions.
Very tough.
Ty was reading off. Now, Ty, we got to remember, too, that Ty got accepted into Harvard. Okay? Ty is a trivia guy. He's tried to be on Jeopardy a couple different times. He loves Trivial Pursuit, you name it. He likes the intricacies of trivia. And whenever we knew Ben was coming on, we're like, okay, we got to do some sort of cash chat. By the way, somebody's got to figure out how to give the money away, $1,000 into the comments section. Your Venmo or Cash App, a lot of them are being hidden, so that means
we have to go in there and unhide it. But hey, we'll give it out though.
All right, so Zito, you're handling that?
You got it.
All right, Zito's handling the giveaway in the YouTube comment section. Connor has to handle the retweet $5,000 giveaway. He has to finish that today for me.
Yep.
But whenever Ben Bailey was coming on, I was like, we have to do something trivia-wise, right? I mean, Ben Bailey, very interesting guy, great show, great host, but let's flip the script on him a little trivia-wise. Those questions, when Ty was reading them off this morning, were fucking absurd. And I knew that Ben wasn't going to be able to get them. They were an insane list of questions.
Well, and I just searched like common trivia questions, and I figured he's probably digested so many of these that I figured he'd know a few. Turns out, I don't know if he knew any of them.
I don't think he knew any of them.
I don't think he knew any of them.
They are tough questions.
Please plug the return of his game show.
Yeah, 11 p.m. is what I...
Oh, that's why you sent that.
Oh, yeah.
Cover your own. Diggs just covered his own ass in the text us.
Good job,
I
Tom.
thought we missed something there.
No.
Hey, he's an enjoyable guy, though.
Yeah.
Just doesn't
I like
know
him.
what time it's
Hey, that dry erase board. Well, I don't think the people that told us told us the right time. The dry erase board is such a... the people have those like vision boards and things like that. You put your goals up there. I have... My entire office the wall is dry erase board. I'm a big dry erase board guy. I would like to know what some of those ideas up there are.
Oh, yeah.
And which one pans out, you know? Which one did we get a chance to potentially see the semen go into the egg and blossom into a baby that makes him some money for Ben Bailey? Good for Ben Bailey.
Good guy.
Cool guy. Had no idea what else to do with him, though. I'm happy we did the cash chat. It's not normally our thing.
No, I mean, you had to.
He even had the special effects for us, too, with the sounds and stuff.
Oh, that was Zito. Zito had those.
Zito, wow.
Yeah, Zito was trying to get us striked by YouTube by having all their goddamn.
No.
Yeah.
Well, if you talk over it, it's fine because it hides the voice algorithms. Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah, because they can't read the algorithm because the waves get messed up with our voice on top of it. So when we're yelling, red light challenge.
Good job, guys.
Wow.
So that's just what we got to do with music. When music comes
we
up.
just got to sing over it.
Boom, boom.
It's a bad show. Today's show is a bad show. There's just nothing to talk about.
I thought it was a good show.
Well, yeah. I feel like whenever we have conversations, they are entertaining conversations. But boy, it'd be nice to have something of substance to talk about every fucking once in a while.
Yeah, it would be.
We should have previewed tonight's race for a good 35, 40 minutes.
No, we should have went straight into the LeBron or Michael Jordan debate.
Oh.
Because we've been trying to look around and see what everybody else is doing that's doing live shows on a daily basis. And I feel like that's a go-to.
Every day.
Which I don't... Easy, Diggs. They're trying to make a living as well, those people, right? They're in unprecedented times as well.
Creativity, where is it?
What do we got? What are we doing? Cash chat. We're creative. Yeah, hey, we're very creative over here.
All right.
All right. Look at us being a show. All right, mullet mitt, let's go. Hour 2. What do we talk about? What are you going to mess up? The first hour was the first time you ever got through an entire minutes without getting booed or booted off the stage. And for that, we're very proud of you. But listen, what have you done for me lately is all anybody cares about. We will remember you by these mullet mitts minutes. Wednesday, May 20th, hour 2. What do we talk about?
Here we go, Mitt.
Let's go, Mitt.
In the last hour, we talked about how live sports are back. We talked about Tom Brady's savage tweet. Who's going to be trash talking who in this golf outing, and can it save it? We talked about Phil's rocket arm, Peyton Manning's Papa John's business moves. We talked about Phil Mickelson's Cavs, Tigers yacht, Super Bowl rings, charities, and in strict motivation.
Oh, Jesus.
Say it again.
Intrinsic motivation.
Okay.
He knew the word better than you guys do. Sounded like earlier. Remember, I got questioned by the questioners about intrinsic motivation.
He said
we were
intric.
impressed. We knew how to say it.
He said intric.
If you would have said in strict, I wouldn't have known what the hell you were talking about.
Like what he just did.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you're talking about him messing up what I said.
Yes.
My SAT word that I flawlessly dropped into conversation. Mitt is over here trying to ruin my moment.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Exactly. He wrote it down and still can't even say it.
It's a hard word to say.
Say it.
Intrinsic.
There you go.
Well,
Hey.
that was hard.
What did you learn? Jesus, Connor.
He is kind of hard on him.
Energy equals mass
Times the speed of light.
squared.
It's c squared is the speed of light.
No, it's the mass times the speed of light
Squared.
squared. Both of those things squared, not just the c squared. I don't think because if
Parentheses
no,
around
because they
it.
would have parentheses
Yeah.
around the MC.
Exactly.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Those parentheses rules are tough.
There it's a PEMDAS. Yep. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction.
Jesus.
That's right. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Yeah, that's the
Wow.
That's the our generation is that. Not
Really?
What about PennDOT he was talking
What
about?
about what was the one on the guitar? What's a guitar?
Roy G. Biv?
Is that right?
No, that's the
That's the
colors of the
rainbow.
rainbow.
Red. There's one for the guitar too, though. There's like a
Jay, you have to know this, right?
EADJ.
Jay doesn't know notes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every
I don't
good
know.
dog.
Guitar act.
It's EADGBE.
Every
so-
apple does get bitten eventually, which was not the one.
Face is the spaces.
Even after dinner, giant boys eat.
Planets have a good one too. My very eager mother just served me 9.
That wasn't ours.
Really?
Go ahead. What's the M there?
Well, the P would have been pizzas, but Pluto's not a planet anymore.
Oh,
so-
shut up, dude.
Pluto's back, I thought.
Pluto's all the way back.
Oh, so it is my very eager mother just served me 9 pizzas.
Pluto's not back.
Pluto,
So it's not. So it's just.
Pluto's as dead as it's ever been.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you son of a bitch, Connor.
Are you kidding me?
Go ahead, Mitt. Please, let's get back to the minutes. I would like that all very cleverly written into the minutes as well. We just did
Part of
like,
it.
we were like at least part of that in there. Go ahead.
We have E equals MC squared. We have Tiger and Manning being favored. We have Joe Rogan being the internet OG and the ripple effect. We talked about how Diggs graduated from business school and also has street smarts.
Hey, boy, Diggs.
There's 2 sides to every story. We talked about CFL asking for $150 million and had one time had 2 teams named the Rough Riders. Shout out to Gumpy from Canada. We had the Raycon earbuds ad. I do not. I wish I
Gumpy
did.
probably hates you, by the way.
Yeah, he does.
You're sitting in a spot.
Because he's literally on
It's a
house
spot.
arrest in Canada right now.
That's where he sits.
I'll keep it warm for you, Gumpy.
That's very nice of you. Oh, you meant that as a shot.
Shot across the bow.
Gumpy is an absolute unit right now. He will take you.
Oh, shit, again.
Gumpy,
I was
Gumpy
not
needs-
coming at Gumpy. What's up,
Gumpy will
Gumpy? I'm
call
sorry.
Gumpy needs to know
sorry.
that I think what he's eating is potentially making him bigger than smaller. I just learned of that fact too, Gumpy. I think that's some information that you should know, Gumpy, that should be thought about.
Oh.
Love it, pal.
Love you, pal. Hey, man, you will never fucking replace Gumpy. I want to let that be known.
I'm not trying to.
Oh! All right. By
Words
the
put
way,
in my mouth.
mullet Mitt is Mullet Mid is his own.
Yeah.
Gumpy's his own.
Entity.
Own entity.
There's no such thing as comparison. Everybody's running their own
Yeah,
race.
as soon as he gets that mullet off,
What's that?
you know where I was going.
My headphones.
Oh, that's right.
I literally can't hear you right now.
You should have heard what I just said. It was massive.
It wasn't worth it.
Go ahead, Mitt.
An unnamed NFL player is suing United Airlines. We have NASCAR Toyota 500 tonight. NASCAR has a race on Sunday too, in case golf is boring. Tom Brady's throwing with his teammates, trains in full pads.
Cheater.
We talked about Noel Devine's highlights. Justin King had 6 touches and 6 touchdowns on 7 touches one time in high school, and was also tackled by Pat McAfee.
Follow-up fact there. That was in the first half.
Another follow-up fact, had 10 or 11 starters out because they decided to go to breakfast the day of the game and got suspended.
Shout out CFO Phil.
We were left out there.
Phil was not happy, by the way, because he was not at breakfast. He just so happened to show up late on a day where a bunch of people went to breakfast. So Phil, All-American Phil, got lumped in with everybody that was going to breakfast instead of going to class. So he got suspended. Most of our soccer team got suspended. I had a test I had to go to in the morning, so I couldn't go. I had to look like a hero to all those teachers that fucking hated me. They're like, so every athlete is getting suspended? Except for McAfee? Except for fucking McAfee. I had a test. Had to do it.
I just went because my dad would have killed me.
Coach.
Good coach.
Well, I feel like a lot of the parents did not know that. You know, if you're going to, by the way, if you're going to skip class, okay, this is for the younger generation, the Mitts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to skip class and go eat breakfast, which is something that happened at our high school on a regular basis, you can't wear your Letterman's jacket, okay? You just can't do it. And you can't eat in Monroeville, which is Gateway, which was the team you're playing against, that Friday night. And you can't have your name, and you can't have 45 people sitting at one table with all your Letterman jackets on. You're going to get turned in. You're going to get busted. And that's what happened at Plum High School, 2005, when Justin King touched the ball 7 times in the first half and had 6 touchdowns because they want to go to fucking Eaton Park, have some pancakes. French toast. Oh, the smiley cookies.
Don't get me started.
Jesus. It's worth it. Just don't wear your jacket. Wear a mask.
Was this like a senior skip day thing?
Nope.
No,
Or
it's just a
a-
random day.
Just read the minutes, man.
Irresponsible.
There's no reason he just talked to you like that, by the way. He was in college at West Virginia at the time whenever this all went down. Morgantown. He failed out, went to a better school.
Attaboy, Nick.
And someone has masters.
To end the show, we had Ben Bailey come on. We talked about the return of Cash App on Bravo. Cash Cab.
There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
Well, it was a good run. It was a good run. Best day you've had. Best day you've had by far. Best day you've had by far. And I understand you're not trying to take Gumpy's spot. Everybody's running their own race. Connor, though, was the freshest employee to our operation. Yeah. So I feel like Connor potentially feels a little bit threatened by you because you got, better hair and things of that nature. That's why that Mitts Airs thing has been just running up like a fucking sales thing at Walmart. Is that right, Connor?
Nail on the head.
Tough love.
Yeah, got to do it.
Because you've been there before. Just a few months ago, you were him.
Yeah, used to be a young gun myself.
Now what are you?
Just a fat old slob.
You're so rude to yourself.
Tough love.
All right. We got to get out of here. 12:06. Hope everybody has a fantastic Wednesday. Download the podcast from our operation here. It's all the boys getting into microphones saying very dumb things. I think it's very entertaining, though. Very enjoyable. I listen to the show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yep.
I enjoyed it a lot. Anything else?
About the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Tony's the host.
Oh, tomorrow we got Mark Cuban on the show. See you guys later. Be a friend, tell a friend. Mark Cuban, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on this show, Pat McAfee Show, youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Have the best Wednesday of your life. We'll see you in Minneapolis.